Going on, everybody? Good old JM here with you on this Throwback Thursday as we present yet another out of the archives right here on the Casa D18 Studios. JJ, I know, has been working tirelessly to comb through everything on the NoDQ channel, on the Jeff Meacham Network, on his own Casa D18 Studios, on the J. Hebert 95 Studios, the Simple Man brand, to present to you something that you may not have seen before, something that you haven't seen in a long time, perhaps. I know I'm looking forward to what the Renegade has in store, and I hope you are too. Kick your feet up, enjoy a little respite from the craziness of a Thursday, and enjoy this classic content right here on the Casa D18 Studios.
Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Hello pals, Alyssa Marino here, and as a friend of Parker Kane Promotions, I am super excited to share the awesomeness that they've got in store for you this November at WrestleCade. You'll be seeing the world-traveling Capital Championship Wrestling Global Fighting Champ Rebecca J. Scott, a rising star who's been featured on Ladies Night Out, MCW, and more, the stunner Emily J., an internationally traveled talent who you've seen on NXT UK and Stardom, Angel of the Ring Zaya Brookside, and NWA World Women's Tag Team Champion Chicago's Sweetheart Missa Kate will also be appearing live. It's all going down WrestleCade weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You can catch these stars brought to you by Parker Kane Promotions on Saturday, November 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And be sure to stick around for Ladies Night Out the following day on Sunday, November 26th. You can get your WrestleCade weekend tickets at WrestleCade.com.
The Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from NoDQ.com.
Welcome, NoDQ Galaxy, to another edition of the NoDQ Review. Post Hell in a Cell. Is that how you would say that, guys? Post Hell in a Cell. I have virtue being joined. Don't turn your YouTube off. I'm being joined by Cass, TJS, and Aaron Rift. What's up, everybody?
We got Medium Cass here, who some of you might recognize from the Season 5 of Wrestling Trivia Challenge. Chris hosted 9 of the 10 episodes. I figured since I bumped him from the finale, I owed him one. Greg Cherry is taking a vacation now that the season is over. He needs one because he got so burned out from that season, and he just needs a break from wrestling in general. So Greg will be gone for a few weeks, and Chris is filling in. Chris, how does it feel to be on the NoDQ review with us?
I feel like I've finally been called up to the big leagues, and if Wrestling Trivia Challenge goes my way, this won't be the only thing I'm replacing Greg in. But other than that, I'm happy to be here and talk about some stuff. I finally get my chance to shine outside of trivia here.
All right, sounds good. And TJS, you up for some discussion today? How you feeling?
We have a lot of topics to get to, and it's a loaded list, folks. It's going to be a good one, trust me.
Absolutely. All right, Virtue, let's go ahead and get started.
Shall I get started? So Hell in a Cell happened this past weekend. And Aaron, I honestly can't remember what your grade was for the show.
A-.
Okay. I gave it a B-. I was a little critical of a few of the things, such as I thought Jeff and Orton did not need to be in the cell because I wanted to see, I knew something was going to go down with the ear. Did I think he was going to use a screwdriver, putting it through the gauge and twisting the cartilage? No. But I think if that was outside of the cage, that would have meant even more. And for all, what did Jeff do? He just went up at the top and he just swung a little bit and came down on the table. That should have been AJ and Joe's spot. So obviously they did that finish that kind of screwed Joe over. Interesting. And then the main event, I called Demon Finn, didn't get it. We got Brock Lesnar. And I can't say that I'm ticked because everybody thought Brock was done.
Yeah.
He was going to UFC. And all of a sudden, Vince brings him back. And I've heard the argument, well, because Braun and Roman can't carry the brand, and they can't carry these big shows in Saudi Arabia. You got to bring Brock back. You got to have Triple H versus Undertaker with Kane and HBK. I've heard all this garbage nonsense. Look, if Vince didn't like the guys that he pushes to the top, would he have done it for the last 4 or 5 years? Probably not. It's in an era where no superstar, other than maybe Brock, is bigger than the WWF, and Vince knows that. So what's everyone's thoughts on Hell in a Cell? I gave it a B-. I was critical of the non-finish at the final match. That probably took me a letter grade down. I was a little upset. I thought Roman should have went over, even if they would have had some weird thing happen to Braun to protect him. Cass, I'm going to start with you. What were your thoughts? What was your favorite match and your letter grade?
Well, I'm going to give it probably a B+, and it lost from the A for the same reason that you did for the non-finish. I just did not think that that was a good idea. I know they want to protect people, but there's better ways to do it than just have like Brock come out and beat the crap out of everyone and be like, okay, bye, I'm leaving now, see you in a month. I don't think that they would have needed Brock for the Saudi Arabia show, because I feel like with those being like kind of like a bot show, that they don't need to worry about selling tickets to those because people will go either way.
Unless the Prince is over there demanded Brock Lesnar. You don't know.
That is true. I mean, I'm sure at the price tag that Vince gets for those, that he's like, hey, Brock, I'll like double your salary. Please come. I need you. But yeah, other than that, I really did enjoy the show. I loved the tag match. I thought the finish of that was excellent, and I love like kind of like you think something's gonna happen, then boom, out of nowhere, like McIntyre hit the Claymore and it was all over. I love that kind of finish, but I was hyped for the whole pay-per-view up until the end, and it just really brought it down for me. It just kind of felt like all right then. I guess that's how this is gonna end. But other than that, that's pretty much my thoughts on it.
One of my biggest problems is I feel that they're treating the WWE Championship, which is the historic championship in that company, and AJ Styles, such like a mid-carder. We're going to talk about that later. And that, the way they presented that, that's exactly what happened. They didn't get to sell. They were in the middle of the card. I mean, more or less. TJS, what's your thoughts?
Well, wrestling-wise, I think the show was a solid A. Booking-wise, C+. Because So at the end of Orton and Hardy, you had Hardy fall. And, you know, they didn't stop that match, but they stopped the main event, the Universal title match, because neither man could continue. Are you telling me that one of those two couldn't crawl over and make the cover? Are you kidding me? But Jeff Hardy falls from the cell, and then, oh no, they call for the medical help. But the match continues so Orton can cover him.
More importantly, what happened to Braun and Roman to put them out of commission for so long to allow all those guys to do the? Did I miss something? Because that was like 7-8 minutes.
It was the spear through the table. Apparently, that killed them dead for 7-8 minutes. That was my biggest criticism.
Why was it a no contest then?
Yeah, great point. I mean, you're trying to put too much logic into this, but I agree with you. That was dumb. That was the worst part about that match. I did not mind Lesnar for the reasons I said on my video. I thought it was a nice surprise, and it left me intrigued to see the follow-up, and that doesn't happen too often. I was curious coming out of that show to see what would happen next.
Now, since you know the follow-up, Aaron, are you still okay with that finish?
I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to change my letter grade of the show. I still enjoyed it from start to finish. I thought there were no bad matches. I was entertained. I wasn't bored at any time during the show. As far as AJ and Joe goes, I know you guys were talking about that. I do feel like it needs to be stepped up with those guys, and maybe because the next pay-per-view they're doing the no DQ match, that will get the main event spot. I really hope it does. If there's any show to do it, Roman and Strowman are in that 6-man match. That doesn't need to close the show. I think this would be the right pay-per-view to have AJ and Joe, no DQ match for the WWE title, close the Super Showdown pay-per-view.
But how many people in the United States are going to be watching that live? So that's why they'll probably make it the main event, because they know a lot of people won't be watching it live.
What is the like official start time like in Australia for that? Are they starting it at noon so it starts here? Are they starting it late so it's in the morning here?
It starts 5 a.m. Eastern time, 2 a.m. Pacific time.
Aaron, Triple H and Undertaker is going to close. There's no way the WWE title match is going to.
Oh man, yeah.
There's no way. Triple H and Undertaker are closing. So
that's so sad.
This is what
AJ. They're getting the shaft.
Back to Hell in a Cell, though. Like I thought one surprise that I actually was kind of. I know Aaron, you enjoyed it. Becky won. I mean, like this wasn't that not kind of shocking that they booked that way?
Yeah, I liked it. I'm glad Becky won the title.
But here we go. You know, people want her to see her as baby faces. WWE says she's a heel, so we will see if she gets the Stone Cold treatment or not. So did everybody get all their Hell in a Cell thoughts off their chest?
Okay, I just want to say one thing about that Jeff Hardy Orton Hell in a Cell is how bad the timing was on him, like swinging back and forth. He already looked down and saw Orton was off the table, and then he's like, well, I'm going to fall anyway. Okay,
that was my biggest criticism of that match, the fact that the timing was a little bit off on that, and Hardy should have had time to try to move out of the way or get down somehow.
Just felt like Orton moved too soon.
Yeah.
What they should have done is try to get an RKO while Hardy was coming down. That would have looked really cool.
That would have been tough, though.
Yeah,
it would have been good. It would have been tough. I just thought that being in the cell with minimal Jeff Hardy bumps for a cell match really took away from that ear spot, which was the match. I mean, that was the cringeworthy spot for the match. It was supposed to make you go, ugh. And it did still, but it could have been better emphasized, in my opinion, without the cell. But anyway, so Clay, somebody on Twitter, I complain about booking when, to me, it does not make sense. Like Finn Balor never got his Universal title rematch. Yeah. Yes, I'm allowed to complain about it.
It is interesting, though, because this is like the first time I can remember that I gave the show a better letter grade than you.
Yeah, well, Roman's the Universal champ in the main event, and when you don't end the main event with a clear-cut winner, I'm going to do that. Speaking of events, Hell in a Cell has finally passed. We have Super Showdown in Australia, Evolution, and now we got another show they're promoting, Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. All right, so here's how I wrote this out. I want to know everybody's opinion here on what Lesnar's return means, because they had to bring him back. or Crown Jewel specifically. Now it's a triple threat match for the Universal title. And yet we have another show being promoted while we already have other ones being promoted. And I think they're getting so far ahead of themselves. Aaron, you said it best. They're too big to fail, so they're going all in. We're going to get big. We're going to be bigger than ourselves. That's what WWE is doing. They're promoting themselves as bigger than they actually are because they're going 3 shows ahead of time. So, TJS, you think Brock is needed here, and are we going to continually have 3 shows being promoted at all times now? Is this the new thing?
Well, it certainly seems that way, unless WWE plans on, maybe they're just promoting all these shows at once since they have those, the overseas shows like Super Showdown and Crown Jewel. Those are kind of special since they're overseas. Hopefully that's all, they've been promoting Evolution. They haven't stopped promoting Evolution since it was announced. And I know we made the jokes about, are they just going to plug this every week? They are. They are. And as far as Brock being needed for Crown Jewel, I think that it only makes sense to bring him back because if he left, then you'd have people complaining that Brock never got his rematch, and now he's getting it. And I guess adding him to the mix makes things a little interesting. But in my opinion, that doesn't justify the non-finish, which, by the way, adds to the statistic of 4 failed Money in the Bank cash-ins. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the non-finish.
Maybe this is what we need Greg Cass, maybe you can answer this. The original Hell in a Cell match with Taker and Shawn. Did Shawn not still pin Taker after Kane came out? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. I know some people thought that was a no contest. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, Kane came out tombstone him, then Shawn just rolled over and put like one hand on his chest, and that was it.
We couldn't have even got something like that.
Nope. It doesn't make any sense.
All right, Cass, I'm going to pass it over to you, and here's food for thought. Evolution, the first all-female WWE event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it. Days later, it's an all-male event at Crown Jewel. Is that not ironic?
It truly is, but it goes back to what I said earlier when talking about the Crown Jewel show, and this Saudi prince called up Vince and said, hey, come do a show on this date. Hey, but that's like a couple days after a women's pay-per-view. I don't care. I'm giving you $20 million. Okay, gladly. So I feel like Vince put the money before what made sense, and he's like, I don't care if it's days out of the women's pay-per-view. Do you see how much they're paying me? So he just doesn't care.
The women probably wouldn't complain either. I'm sure they're going to get something, even if they don't show up at Crown Jewel. Maybe they have like some kind of little, to say sorry that you can't make it. Here's this.
Yeah, they got their pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Cass, so any more detail from your point of view on Brock? Like, do you think? I think Braun and Roman could have held their own without Lesnar. Now, it does make sense that storyline-wise, Brock is a participant, and why would he not get his rematch? He's just going to leave, right, and go to UFC. So from that standpoint, I get it. But
yeah, it makes sense that Brock came back because in a way at SummerSlam, Braun kind of did cost him because he was distracted with Braun to allow Roman to spear him to get the win. So he has beef with both guys. So it would make sense for a triple threat, and it kind of makes sense that they did it this early and are promoting Crown Jewel because you can't bring him back for, say, Super Showdown because Brock probably said, I'm not going to Australia. Screw you. I'm not going to interfere in a six-man. I don't want to leave, North America. I'm going to come back at Hell in a Cell, and you're going to promote me after that because you have to because I'm your biggest draw, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I'm not going to Australia. So in a way, it does make sense that they are promoting all 3 shows. Brock does make sense because if he wants the money, I'm sure Vince will give it to him, especially if the Saudi prince wants it. And there's really, it's kind of comes down to money. He doesn't really care about anything else, that being Vince. And as long as the money's there, that's all he wants. Money. Money talk.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't like maybe 2 shows at once, but 3. Hey, Aaron, you remember the days of the Big 4 and then King of the Ring was all of a sudden we have a 5th pay-per-view?
Yeah.
And then what, 95, 96, whenever it was, in your house, we're going to have one every month.
Yeah, and keep in mind, we
Here
had
we are.
WCW also with a pay-per-view every month. So we actually did have a lot back then, too, between WWE and WCW. And
And
back
then
in
once
those days, you had to pay the $40 or $50. And let's face it, not a lot of people bought all the pay-per-views. It was a
And then-
definitely
Okay,
pick and
so are
choose.
you suggesting we're getting more bang for our buck then with the WWE Network? I mean, we
I
are.
still think we're getting too much content for WWE, and guys are being overexposed. We're seeing too much Roman Reigns, too much Braun Strowman, and quite frankly, I hate to say it, but too much Brock Lesnar. I'm tired of seeing the same thing from Brock Lesnar. I want to see maybe a different kind of match, maybe Batista coming back and facing Brock Lesnar, or maybe even Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. Just change it up. Do something different. If Brock Lesnar is going to be around, I want to see something different. But Chris does make a good point. I mean, they do have this story to tell. There was that controversy at SummerSlam. So I think this should be it, though. This match at Saudi Arabia, last time we see Reigns and Lesnar in the same ring together. You move on after that.
All right. Well, you know what else caught my interest this week on Raw? Now Kane is going to be being in the Undertaker's corner at Super Showdown. We already know Shawn is going to be there in Triple H's corner. So at what point have we gotten to where Triple H versus Undertaker, so much for end of an era, right? I mean, this is another end of an era. Is this the end of an era since that end of that era, maybe? We're using Kane and HBK as ring valets. I mean, more that's the way I'm looking at it. Cass, I want to start with you. What's your thoughts on why they're doing this?
Honestly, it's probably just a little bit of fantasy booking in my head, but maybe like a lot what they did with The Rock in 2011. Maybe they want to, like, if Shawn Michaels does want to come back, maybe they want to do like, hey, maybe at Survivor Series, let's have like Brothers of Destruction against DX just to see if Shawn can still go and hang in there, like kind of like what they did with The Rock when he teamed with Cena against the like Miz and R-Truth. And I might be a little bit of fantasy booking, but I kind of see them going that way as like something will happen, big like cluster will happen, and then they'll be like, okay, let's have a tag match and do it at like Survivor Series. That could be their big selling point of that. But I think something's going to happen that leads down the line to them all getting intertangled, and they want to do like some fantasy warfare thing.
Well, according to Dave Meltzer and a few other people, it looks like there's going to be a tag match at the Saudi Arabia show. Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement to team up with Triple H against Undertaker and Kane.
Wow, they really are throwing a lot of money at WWE, aren't they? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Shawn must be
was
making...
that a rumor? Did they want Ultimate Warrior and didn't know he passed away? Or was that a big rumor back then? I heard that they wanted Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, that's the big story,
Wow.
And I don't know if that's the case or not. It could be. They could be behind the times with that kind of stuff. But, yeah, I mean, it would make sense that Saudi Arabia wants Brock Lesnar and would want somebody like Shawn Michaels to appear on that show. And, yeah, if you believe the rumors, Shawn Michaels, Brock Lesnar, those guys are making some big, big bucks for this show. And, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I've seen some mixed reviews about Shawn Michaels and some mixed thoughts about him coming back. And Virtue, how are you feeling if he does come back and not only comes back at the show in Saudi Arabia, but also in a tag match? How do you feel about that?
When you're a professional wrestler, you're never retired unless you physically, like Edge, can't go, or you pass away. And that's just my opinion. Shawn, to me, was playing the storyline that he retired in respect to the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania. If Undertaker says, Shawn, I want you to wrestle again, I think he would. You know what I mean? It's kind of a respect thing. I think Shawn would do it more so for the people that he's working with that want him to do it, like Undertaker, than for Vince McMahon. Of course, the payday's great. So, but if it's a tag match, I don't want that just to be it and then he's retired again. It has to lead to him having another epic WrestleMania match. TJS.
Well, I think I'm in the minority here, but I don't want Shawn to come out of retirement. I think if there was ever the time, it was at the Royal Rumble that was at the Alamo Dome, and he should have taken on AJ Styles. Now, I think that Undertaker having Kane in his corner and HBK being in Triple H's is just to add more star power to this show. Because you look at the greatest Royal Rumble, there was you had the 50-man Rumble, and that made up for all the star power. You just threw a bunch of random people in there, and you could say, we have over 50 guys on this show, but, you know, you have HBK, Triple H, Undertaker, and Kane all on that card. I mean, that kind of adds up to the star power of probably, you know, anyone in the Greatest Royal Rumble. Like I said, I hope that Shawn stays retired, because we saw what happened when Ric Flair came out of retirement, when Sting came out of retirement. We got the Joker Sting and TNA, and it was just a mess. I feel like Shawn Michaels went out on a good note, and I feel like they need to just stay retired, because if he doesn't, then I feel like it would take away from the WrestleMania match that he had that ended his career. That's just my take.
Interesting. You may get some heat for that. I think everybody wants to see Shawn Michaels in some way or another.
Well,
I mean, that's just my opinion.
See, I kind of agree with TJS. Like, Shawn's retirement felt like the one real retirement, and I was happy that he actually stepped away, and he really had nothing else to prove. I mean, him coming back, it feels like he's just coming back for the money. And yeah, like TJS said, if he was going to come back, Alamo Dome, AJ Styles, that would have been hot. That would have been fun to watch. And I still would like to see Shawn against somebody like AJ Styles. I'd rather see that than the nostalgia match, which is basically what this is. It's a nostalgia match, and they're doing it in Saudi Arabia to please the guys there. So I definitely have mixed feelings about it. You know, I don't know how I feel. I'm definitely torn.
Also, I mean, Shawn actually tweeted back to me in like 2013. I asked if he regretted retiring, and he said absolutely not. So that was like the first tweet I ever got back from a wrestler, and I feel like Shawn,
on your wall.
What?
You have it framed on your wall, screenshot.
I should, but I mean, I feel like Shawn doesn't miss being in the ring, and I feel like, you know, like, you know, people are going to watch wrestling. They're going to go back, watch WrestleMania 26, and, you know, new fans maybe, and they'll be like, oh, so that was the end of Shawn's career, huh? And then, you know, we tell our grandkids or something like, oh, no, he came back for a random tag match in Saudi Arabia, so this match doesn't really mean much. The retirement match, that is, you know.
You don't want to know. I mean, I just can't believe you wouldn't want to see Daniel Bryan versus the man that trained him, Shawn Michaels. All right.
I wonder if they're ever going to do that. We'll see if they actually do that or not. They may just.
But I mean, him coming back would entertain some type of possibility. You just don't know what you'd get, and we would take anything. But I mean, okay, I guess everyone wants to stick to the respect of the storyline with Undertaker ending his career. Okay, I can deal with that. How about this? Can we deal with this? Bobby Lashley really has no personality, no character other than his muscles. And he does have a pretty big, bright smile. I mean, he smiles. Maybe he smiles too much, but I like Lio Rush. I didn't really think I would as another flippin' flying wrestler, but the fact how they brought him in the whole sequence that happened on Raw with Kevin Owens and Elias, I'd like to see this guy be maybe just like a manager. I've wanted managers in wrestling for a long time. They just don't. Drake Maverick, I don't think so. Titus Worldwide, Heyman's an advocate. We don't have managers, right? I think Lio Rush could be that little Tom and Jerry type scenario. I like this. So what do you think? Obviously, Lashley needs it, right? He needs some type of somebody around him dancing and giving him personality. Aaron, I'll start with you. What do you think about this? Or is it just a flash in the pan, and is he just going to be a 205 guy?
Oh, I love it. I think it's a great decision to have him as a manager. And by the way, I like Drake Maverick as a manager too. And I know you're putting him down, but what else would you do with Drake Maverick? What else can you do with the guy? At least
I don't like him yet. I have to see more.
Okay, gotcha.
I got to see more.
I understand that. Yeah, Lio Rush already showed a lot on Raw this week, you know, dodging Kevin Owens throwing the chair at him, and that was really entertaining. I mean, I think it's definitely a good pairing. Time will tell if it actually works out for Lashley. It is kind of weird, though, because usually managers are representing heels, not baby faces, so we'll see how things go. I still think Lashley should go heel. I think that would be more intriguing to see Lashley as the heel, and then you have Lio Rush doing all the trash talking, and Lashley's the muscle to back it up. So we'll see. I think there's some possibilities with this. I think there's some potential, and I did enjoy it on Raw. TJS, your thoughts?
I agree. I think I agree with you. I thought it was awesome. Leo Rush is just, he's got charisma, and I loved his little intro for Bob the Lash. I thought it was good. And then his little sequence was awesome, too. I got sort of like the Enzo and Cass vibes, maybe. Maybe Bobby Lashley's not as big as Cass. Here's my one problem with it. I'm not sure if you watch 205 Live or not. I know Aaron and Virtue don't. Cass, do you?
I've watched like a few episodes here and there. If something good happens, that's about it.
I used to before Enzo got fired.
Okay.
Same here.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is that Leo Rush is a heel on that show, and he's a babyface on Raw. And then you have Drake Maverick, who's a face on 205 Live, but a heel on Raw. And I guess you could say that's not canon or whatever, but I don't know. Other than that, I love it. Not sure if I want Leo Rush to wrestle or not. I'd rather him just, stay the manager, at least on Raw. But definitely, it's smart to have him on Raw because, you see people doing those flips and whatever. That gets eyes on 205 Live, maybe. Cass, what do you think?
Well, first of all, before we start this, I'd just like to say I was soured on Leo Rush like 3 years ago when I seen him no-sell a Canadian Destroyer off a ladder. That pissed me off. But now I like love this thing that he's doing there, where he's like almost like a spoiled rich kid on 205 Live, but then on Raw, kind of still has the same characteristics of it. But he's like, it's almost like Lashley is the big brother and he's like the little brother that just runs his mouth the whole time, like, come on, you want to fight? And then when they come at him, he just ducks and dodges and runs away, and he's like, come on, help me, big brother, like, beat him up. And I think it's a great dynamic, gives Bobby Lashley great personality, because he had nothing before, like you said, all he did was smile and have muscles. Yeah. And it gives him something, because without any like character, you're not going to get anywhere. Unless you have
it just goes to show, like, there's a niche fan base that likes guys like Leo Rush because of flipping and flying in the ring, no selling. But, like, I didn't go and rush to watch him in NXT or 205. Then all of a sudden I see him on Raw running away from Owens, dodging Elias, and I'm, like, entertained. So, again, I'm more on the sports entertainment side than wrestling side, but I still try to enjoy both. So that's what I see out of Leo Rush. I want to see more of this type of stuff. Right, Aaron? It's about entertainment. Remember the good old days? Yeah. Good old days. We did the Hell in a Cell preview and predictions last week, so we really didn't talk about this, but Renee Young has replaced the coach on the Raw announce team. So I'm all for having a female on there. It makes sense. Evolution's coming up. They're going to have, obviously, Renee's going to be one of the announcers for that, too, correct?
Yes.
Correct, guys? So I like this. Coach, Booker T, JBL, it seems like no one could settle into that spot. Well, most fans were not liking whoever that other personality was, but I don't think they can really say that about Renee. And she hasn't done an awful job. I mean, you can tell she's kind of learning a little bit on the job. I've heard Cole tell her stop talking. Actually, they actually said that her first week. Cole's like, hold on, Renee. So the timing might be a little off, but I like this. I like where it's going. Aaron, any thoughts?
I think it's a good decision to have her there, and I think the general consensus is that the commentary team is better off with 2 people instead of 3. I know I prefer just 2, but as long as Renee can add something, and so far I think she's doing well, and yeah, I think there is room for improvement. And I think she'll get better over time as she gets more comfortable in the position. She's still fairly new to the job. So far, so good. I am enjoying her, and it's definitely an improvement over Coach. Coach really added nothing to the mix, in my opinion. And I think Renee just stands up for herself more. Like, you notice Corey Graves really doesn't insult her, and if he does try to say something, she fires right back at him. She's not like Byron Saxton, where she's the butt end of the jokes, so far so good. Chris, your thoughts?
Well, I was watching like Hell in a Cell with my girlfriend the other night, and I kind of pointed out to her that I don't know if it's my 20 plus years of watching wrestling and always hearing a male voice, but it almost feels like her voice kind of like sounds out of place. I don't know if it's because it's like not like booming like a typical male voice or anything like that, but it almost feels like she's just kind of there. She has no like presence. I don't know how you would improve that at all, but I think she's doing a great job in what she's saying. But sometimes it just doesn't feel like she's there, and it feels like we'll go like a lot of time without even hearing her talk. But when she does, she's doing a good job. And I think it's a vast improvement over everyone else that they've had there, like what Aaron said, where they were pretty much just getting bullied by Corey Graves or whatever, whether it was Saxton or Booker T or whatever. And it's just it's something different to go with, and it does lead into evolution. And you know, maybe they'll have a women's show in the future, so they want to have all women involved in that. But it's just, I don't know if it's just like the voice, but like, because I'm used to say like JoJo and Lillian Garcia like ring announcing, and they kind of have like a powerful voice. It's like when they talk, you're like, all right, who's coming out? I'm paying attention. Right. But with Renee Young, it might be taking some getting used to, but it just feels like her voice isn't like telling me a story yet in a way. But right. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I'd like to get TJS's thoughts on this.
Hashtag bring back Booker. I don't know. I just...
Here comes the heat.
Did you hear Renee Young's line on Raw? Did you hear it? She said, I think Dean Ambrose wants a piece of this pie.
That was funny.
Yeah, I was going to say, I want to hear... I'm most intrigued about when Ambrose is out there. I want to hear her little... That's the best.
I don't know.
Jerry Lawler.
Another problem that I have with Renee is whenever a big move is hit or a big spot, she just goes, "Oh."
They all do that.
You don't want to hear a female go, "Oh, come on, man."
Look, I think that no one has really called the moves like they should be.
Yeah, I agree.
You hear Michael Cole, he's just like, "Oh, he planted him." Planted him with what? A Uranagi, a DDT? Like, what did... I don't... And that's why I like Mauro Ranallo so much, because he calls the moves, and I feel... With Tom Phillips and Michael Cole and Corey, even Corey Graves doesn't really call the moves. I don't know. I'm indifferent for Renee.
I don't think anyone's actually called the moves on the main roster probably since, like, Matt Stryker.
Yeah, it's...
Well, Ranallo.
When Ranallo was there. But... I don't know. Michael Cole, he finally learned. He learned a move. I don't remember which one it was, but he finally started saying the name of it.
Bling Blade.
I don't know. Whatever. Right. Renee's fine. I'm glad.
Well, let's see. To be continued. We'll see how she grows.
You know why? You know why they all sound the same and they don't know the moves? Because they're all just saying what Vince is telling them to say. Vince is in their ear all the time, and Vince is the one who coined the phrase, "What a maneuver." You know, every
Get
time
Vince on commentary again, please. He even called the moves.
Yeah, what a maneuver.
Yeah.
What a maneuver. I loved his voice, though. He had a good voice. With Cole, I just get so tired of hearing it.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see how Renee grows. This past week, in basically bland fashion, Matt Hardy announced his retirement. I don't know if it was just from WWE or we know he's got some hip and back problems with the whole hurricane thing. Obviously, they got cleanup and things to focus on there. Right. Do you think he should have had a bigger send-off? I mean, I do, and it sucks that he did this in WWE and they kind of just swept it under the rug and he did it on social media. I have a feeling if he was on Impact or in the Indies, they would have made a big last deal of his last event ever. Could you imagine if he could have been at All In? He would have did something spectacular to go out in great fashion. TJS, I want to start with you. It just, to me, and you got to remember, right? Wrestlers, you're never officially retired. Granted, he might have some injury that'll keep him from being able to take any more bumps, right, like Edge. But I just felt like this sucked. I mean, I wanted to see a good send-off. What do you think?
Well, we got a little YouTube video. It was like less than 5 minutes long, and he was just pretty much saying like, "Hey, I'm not going to wrestle in WWE anymore." And I thought that was sad because I believe that Matt Hardy was, he's one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time, and I was a big Hardy Boys fan. And when Matt was solo, I was like, I like the version 1 stuff, but I really never really started to love Matt Hardy until he started doing the broken gimmick, and I found out that this was his idea to do it. I just really admired him, and he was a ring general, and it's really sad to see him go out. I wish he would have gotten a retirement speech. I don't understand why he didn't. He could have came out with a broken character and then transitioned. Once he started talking on the mic, he could do his little laugh and then get serious, and then just give him like a 10 minutes. Give him something. We have 3 hours of Raw that's just full of crap. You could give this guy something. Cass.
And he did say just from WWE, right? Did he say from all of wrestling? So
yeah,
that almost makes it feel like ... Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Cass?
I feel like it's going to be a lot like Christian's retirement, where no one really just says anything. He just kind of happens. I guess he has announced his retirement, unlike what Christian did. But I'm sure he'll get some other thing going and always leave the door open to return. When I was a kid, Matt was actually my favorite Hardy over Jeff because everyone liked Jeff and I didn't want to be like the popular choice. But it's one of those things where I feel like him and Jeff are just finishing up, and maybe they'll get their official, hey, we're retiring, this is it, at a Hall of Fame, it will bring them in together. They announced it, hey, we're done. Maybe down the line there'll be one last tag match just for nostalgia against some up and team. But I just feel like he's not big enough in terms of where he's at and say on the card in WWE his whole career to warrant I'm coming out and announcing my retirement. Thank you, everyone. It'll just kind of swept under the rug, just like Mark Henry was this year, where it's oh, Mark Henry's going to the Hall of Fame, but he's never really officially announced his retirement. But he's going in the Hall of Fame, and now you're going to find out that, yeah, he's retired now. And I think that's what's going to happen with both Hardys, and they're going to go in at the same time in the Hall of Fame.
Very well could happen. I would have liked to have seen maybe an angle, at least, where Hardy was taken out by somebody, just to give somebody the rub, saying they ran out Matt Hardy from the WWE. Yeah, could have been Orton, could have been anybody. I just think anything than what they actually did, just having him do the house shows and then just disappear and post his little message on social media.
What if they sorry to cut you off, but what if someone like a Bray Wyatt took Matt Hardy out of the Woken gimmick, threw him in the pond or something, and then he came out as regular Matt Hardy, and then he was like, what happened to me? I don't remember what happened. It's too dangerous. I'm never going to wrestle again. That's a story.
Hey, there you go. See, you're doing a better job of coming up with creative stuff than WWE. I mean, yeah, anything would have been nice, and maybe even some kind of one more match like that, one more Hardy compound battle, and then, yeah, he goes back to being regular Matt and goes off into the sunset. Just any little send-off for him would have been great. And maybe he will do one more match. Maybe we will see one more final deletion or ultimate deletion before he's done for good. Maybe he will wrestle again. Never say never, right?
Yeah, we'll see. And maybe he'll show up at Madison Square Garden at that Ring of Honor New Japan event.
Doubt it.
Just to make an appearance.
I think he's going to
do. He's worked with Ring of Honor. He's worked with Ring of Honor before, though. I mean, just for a buzz, though.
I think he's going to do the producing work
for WWE.
Yeah.
Well, they could do a thing, what you said with Orton earlier, too, because I seen last night on SmackDown, Orton went into the video truck and all that stuff. They could have Matt working as a producer, and Orton could go in there and have a thing with him to write him off by beating him up backstage or something while he's trying to produce. Could be something they do.
How do you know that's the next topic? We're going to move over to SmackDown and talk about Randy Orton in the production truck, putting his hands all over that production truck worker. Who knows where his hands were before that segment. But, they were showing the Jeff Hardy stuff with the gauge, the screwdriver, the ear. More importantly, he said, it seems like he's going after his next victim. It was a tease. Who could it be? And I'm sitting there going up and down the SmackDown roster, and I want to know everybody's thoughts. What would be cool for Orton's next feud? Maybe Jeff finally, I don't know if Jeff's going to take a little bit of time off to go take care of the hurricane damage, obviously sell the injuries, but what do you think about Orton's next feud? TJS?
Oh, man. This is hard for me to call because, he said he wants to take out the fans' heroes. So, when I thought of fans' heroes, 3 people came to mind. AJ, who's currently feuding with Samoa Joe, which means that Randy Orton would have to wait, before he could start feuding with AJ if Samoa Joe doesn't win the title. And then number 2, I think Daniel Bryan, but he's also feuding with The Miz right now. And, he is that number 1 contenders match at Super Showdown, which I have a feeling Daniel's going to win it since he lost twice to The Miz already. So that's 2 of the big favorites on SmackDown. And number 3, the only one that I can think of is Rey Mysterio, because he's reportedly signed a 2-year deal. Maybe we'll see him come in. But the problem with that, to me, is you have to have a big hero come in and stop the villain Randy Orton, because he's already taken out Jeff Hardy, and he's going to take out another victim, and there's going to have to be a third guy that beats Orton. But if you bring Ray in, I have a feeling that he would lose that feud, and I guess Ray can afford to do that since he's the underdog, and Randy Orton versus Ray, and those 2 can put on a good match. You can have Randy Orton go after the mask, bring Rey Mysterio back, give him a promo, and then Randy beat him up, try to unmask him, and then there you go. Cass?
I completely go with that, but I don't feel like Daniel Bryan is going to win at Super Showdown. I feel like Joe is going to lose his match too. Miz will win because of Randy Orton's interference on Daniel Bryan, taking out the fan favorite Daniel Bryan. And Miz will continue to feud with AJ, and Orton goes on to Bryan. I don't know what Joe's going to do, but I don't know where that's going to go. I haven't really thought that much out, but I feel like, what?
Comedy.
Yeah, who knows? I just feel like Orton is going for Daniel Bryan next, and The Miz will be with AJ, and that's how this is all going to branch out to get everyone fresh.
Now, see, I think what makes the most sense is Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. I think Randy Orton has the heat right now coming off of Hell in a Cell, that big victory over Jeff Hardy. To me, that seems to be the next logical feud for Survivor Series. Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, or maybe they're going to do AJ versus Roman Reigns. I hope not. I really don't want to see champion versus champion again. Plus, we all know how that's going to go down. But yeah, I'd like to see Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. That's one of the possible feuds for AJ as champion. And I do think Joe is going to lose at Super Showdown. I don't think he's going to win the title. Like I said before, and we'll give credit to Interstate Kyle for this. He was the first one to say it. But I think AJ is breaking CM Punk's record as the longest reigning champion of the modern era, which means he will be champion until the Royal Rumble at least. I think AJ will defeat Samoa Joe, and then Randy Orton seems like the next feud into the fall. But maybe Joe will win. Who knows? And Randy Orton could feud with any number of people at this point.
So what happens? You think Randy Orton loses the feud with AJ then?
Yeah.
Then where does Orton go from there?
He's Randy Orton.
He's just a veteran heel. I mean, and you guys saying AJ and Daniel Bryan, obviously when Orton said that, that's the most logical one of those 2 guys. Gosh, Cass and Aaron, I don't know, man. I can see both of your. I could lean either way. So maybe for once, whatever way it goes, I will be surprised. So we'll see. If I had to pick right now, I'm going to lean towards Cass. I think I could see Orton messing with Daniel Bryan. Because the reason being, with the whole way they're doing the Orton gimmick, how he messed with Jeff's ear, he could really do some psychological stuff with Daniel Bryan in the head, and they can really play up the concussions in the neck with Orton doing, maybe bring the punt back.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I don't know how far they want to do that type of stuff, but they did it with Jeff's ear. So, and that could buy the time to let Miz go on to feud with AJ, or however that works out for the title shot, and then Bryan could come back around and end up beating Miz down the road. I don't know. I mean, it could
What if you bring Jericho back then and have
He's a busy man. I'm not going to put my hopes up on Jericho in WWE right now. He's just a busy guy everywhere. So if we see him, then great. But can't predict Jericho.
I'm actually pretty sure that Jericho and Fozzy are playing a show where I'm at in Halifax the same night of Survivor Series too. So I don't
Yeah.
see
He
that.
does take private jets too, though.
And he's got his cruise. He has
But
his
I mean,
cruise.
yeah, from California to Halifax, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's got his cruise coming up. He's got all sorts of things going on.
And
with
he's the
Fozzy.
IWGP IC champion,
Yeah,
too.
so he's going
You
nowhere
gotta
right
defend
now.
that title, man. Yeah, what's up with that?
If it goes the other way, though, I feel like I'm calling it now. The Miz is going to win the WWE title at the Royal Rumble.
It could happen, and then Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble.
Yep. That's
Let's not forget, too, AJ's on the cover of 2K19, so got to keep the WWE title. You know what? Let's talk about this next, since we brought up AJ. This I wasn't going to make this the main event, but I want to talk about it now. Because why put AJ in the main event when WWE doesn't even do it? So I know that was a low blow, but he is the mid-card champ that runs the camp, and CM Punk kind of went through the same thing. Ironically, the same record that AJ, Aaron, might pass. They don't look at AJ and that championship as the main draw and the main title like they do the Universal title with Roman and Brock hovering around it. And again, from a fan standpoint, we still like AJ no matter where he is on the card. It's great. He's got the historic belt that goes all the way back to the original WWF. I think that's what it was called, right?
Yeah.
Jeff Meacham. Cass, you should know that, right?
Yeah, I think it was also the Capital Wrestling Federation at one point before that, wasn't it? I remember right.
But they just don't, it's Vince doing Vince things. Sure. I mean, is AJ even the main event on SmackDown? I mean, it doesn't even feel like he's the main event on SmackDown. Cass, I'm going to start with you. He's the mid-card champ that runs the camp, and it's unfortunate. Right?
I think it was even like last week on SmackDown. Then they have Brie Bella and Maurice main event, the television show that week, which means they're trying to say that feud is bigger than the WWE title.
And what went off yesterday? Charlotte and Becky, right? What ended SmackDown yesterday?
Yeah.
Was it AJ? Was it AJ?
Nope.
I just feel like it's almost become like an afterthought, and and on pay-per-views they want to put the guy that sells the most tickets, which is Brock, and the guy that sells the most merchandise, which is Roman. One of those guys is going to be their main event. And no one else is going to stop that because that's their top guys. That's who they want. AJ is like, he's getting the CM Punk 2012 treatment where he's going to hold the title all year, but you're never going to main event unless you're against one of those guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that he's not getting the kind of credit he deserves for the matches he's putting on. But when those guys that are selling the merchandise and selling the tickets are on the other show with the other belt, you're not going to get the main event over them in the pay-per-views.
Yeah, and
maybe all the hard work for AJ on SmackDown will translate during the next year's shakeup. He'll end up in the main event scene on Raw in the Universal title picture. I mean, who knows? That would be nice.
Yeah, but
Aaron?
I don't know what to say that hasn't been said already. Somebody got annoyed with me because I referred to AJ as a B+ player, and I'm not saying that about AJ personally. I'm saying that's how the company feels about him, and I feel
like Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
remember?
Triple H's promo, Stephanie's promo, where they said Daniel Bryan's a good little hand. I think that's just a bit too close to reality, and I think the same thing applies to AJ Styles. He is a guy that the company can rely on to go out there, have great matches. He's reliable. He's a great worker. He's a workhorse, and they can rely on him, but they're not going to build the company around him. He just happens to be the WWE champion, which is the most prestigious title in the company. Universal title, not so much. And did you guys catch that line on Raw that Michael Cole said about the title, how the Universal title is the most prized possession in sports entertainment today? So tells you all you need to know. TGS, anything you want to add?
The universe is bigger than the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what I'm hoping happens. Fox WWE just signed the deal with Fox. Hopefully, once that when SmackDown starts airing on Fox, AJ, his career takes off then. I'm hoping that he starts getting in the main events and that the WWE title becomes prestigious again. I mean, once the show starts airing on Fox, you have to have a big name hold the title, right? So maybe AJ will hold it until then. I don't know. Maybe he'll lose it and then win it back. But you guys put it best. He's getting the CM Punk 2012 treatment, where he's having this really long reign, but he's not main eventing the shows, the pay-per-views, or the TV. So I don't know.
What month does that start on Fox?
October.
Of this year or
2019.
next year?
Yeah, we still got a year to go.
I have a feeling by that time I could really see them Vince McMahon take all of his big players and transplant them onto SmackDown, like your Romans and your. That's what I see. I see it, especially if it's going to be on Fox. But again, to be continued, right? All right, Aaron.
Yes,
we'll make
sir.
this the main event. We'll make this the main event because I kind of been calling for this for a while, and it finally happened yesterday on SmackDown. So for Rusev Day, we knew a long time ago Rusev got himself over, got a slogan over, sold T-shirts, but with guys like Zack Ryder in the past, if Vince McMahon and creative didn't orchestrate the push, it doesn't sustain into the main event. We've seen Rusev get a couple wins that we were, good Rusev Day. Ultimately, this was just going to lead to him floundering in the mid-card. But at least now you're potentially, for a short period of time, building up this Aiden English now to where at least he can get something other than being the sidekick. I like the turn on Rusev, and I like the fact that we're going to get a mid-card feud because let's be honest, do we really have too many mid-card feuds that are kind of somewhat interesting with nothing on the line?
Not really.
And I think this could be. Now, will it be Rusev just basically beating Aiden English and it's done, one and done, and it's over after that? Or can they actually build Aiden at least into some type of credible mid-card star? Wouldn't this be something if during this feud, Aiden still does a singing gimmick, but each week he starts looking a little more oranger, tanner and tanner, and he starts like changing his image a little bit because he's a star on his own. I don't know, but I'm interested in this. I'm glad they turned Aiden and he's the heel in it. TJS, what are your thoughts? And is there going to be anything weird happen with Lana in this?
Well, I think our good friend Kayfabe Candy Ass said it best. He said that when the microphone box shattered, it was symbolic to Andre the Giant tearing off the cross of Hulk Hogan's neck. That's what it felt like to me when this happened. I was so sad. I really was because I thought Aiden English was really good at getting Rusev over. He was a great hype man, and I feel like Rusev Day is not going to be the same now because, the initial pop is when we hear like the...
Yep.
We hear that.
What was the most organically over thing not forced by WWE in the past 12 months? You'd have to at least put Rusev Day right up there, if not at the number one spot, right?
Yep.
Yeah, or
okay.
The Seth Rollins burn it down. I mean, that's the only other thing. But I mean, Rusev Day was supposed to be a joke, and it was a huge cash cow. And you heard Stephanie say that they're successful because they listen to their fans. I don't know. You have an entire arena chanting Rusev Day, and this guy's still lost in the shuffle.
That's got to be a troll on Stephanie's part, and she's probably, in her mind, just thinking what they give the fans with her husband's Triple H's vision of NXT is giving the fans what they want. She could always lie herself into something like that when she says
Yeah. I don't know. I think Aiden English is going to lose this feud, and maybe that's going to be the next feud, Samoa Joe and Aiden English. It's very likely because Joe's going to be as low in the card as English, it seems, after he loses. He's doing comedy with the bedtime story. Yeah, I don't know. Aaron?
I'll tell you this. I think there is a lot of potential if somebody knew what they were doing as far as creativity goes. What I think is going to happen is they are going to wrestle. It is going to be at Super Showdown Kickoff. Rusev is going to win, and we are never going to see Aiden English again. That is my official prediction.
Is he going to join Ty Dillinger in catering?
Yes. I am being very pessimistic with my prediction here, but
realistic also.
Yeah. I mean, I think there could be a lot done with this storyline. I'd like to see Aiden tie up Lana on some train tracks or something like that just for fun.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what we need, that type of stuff. And then the match means so much more when they get to that point.
Yeah, because Aiden English reminds me of like that old-time villain and of course Lana is the blonde girl. It just works out nicely. There's so much they could do with this to make it fun. I don't
And they
think we're
better
going to
not bring
see.
Simon Gotch back.
Yeah.
Make Dutch Mantel Aiden English's manager. There you go.
He doesn't need a manager.
I am interested in hearing Aiden, though, come out and do the and getting himself over now. I mean, that I hope that we get to hear some cool stuff, him promoting his brand.
I hope so.
He got his own shirt. It says Happy Aiden Day, and it's like the Chicago flag. Not sure if you saw it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If all else fails, they could always pair up Aiden English, have him go to Raw trade or something, and have him team up with Elias. You know, Elias could play the guitar, Aiden can sing. You could start a little rock band.
What about Aiden teaming up with Joe as heels, going from Rusev Day to be Joe's guy, sidekick? They're both going to need something to do. TJF, maybe, perhaps.
Nah, I don't know. Cass, what do you think?
Meanwhile, Cass is waiting to spill his guts over here.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Cass.
When you thought up all this stuff, when you said about Aiden English and Joe, I think what I was saying earlier about where's Joe going to go. Joe's next feud after Super Showdown, after Rusev beats Aiden English in a one-off match, it ain't going to mean shit. Rusev is going to feud with Samoa Joe, and it's going to lead to probably not a match, probably a big cluster of stuff in Survivor Series at some point. Maybe they'll have like a one-off at the December pay-per-view, or they'll have some interaction on, like I say, a Team SmackDown at Survivor Series. But Rusev and Aiden English isn't going to do anything after this feud. Rusev's going to win. Nothing's going to happen. He's going to flounder around, like you said, like the Ty Dillinger. He's going to be the guy that shows up. You forget about him. He shows up every 3 weeks to put a main event guy over because he can have a good match. And I feel like the only thing that's saving him from having a job still is because he's Eddie Guerrero's son-in-law. And that's the only thing that's going to keep him having a job. I have nothing against him, but I just feel like they're not going to do anything with him after Rusev beats him.
We're also forgetting Nakamura, too. Somebody's going to have to feud against him. And I think his heel turn has been a flop.
Yeah.
Maybe they should put Nakamura back to baby.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Nakamura's heel turn real quick.
Glad I brought him up.
All right, so we got an extra bonus topic here.
He's been a joke. How many times has this guy almost lost? You had Jeff Hardy almost beat him, and then Randy Orton saved the match. You have him almost lose to Rusev, and then he wins with a fruit roll-up. He didn't have a match at Hell in a Cell. He's been an afterthought. And I
both
love
both Rumble winners have been afterthoughts.
Yeah.
That's sad.
It is, and I feel like we're to the point where Money in the Bank doesn't mean anything, and we're to the point where the Royal Rumble doesn't mean anything because the Money in the Bank has been cashed in successfully in 2 years, for the men at least, and Nakamura's a joke. I feel like he's going to be doing comedy soon. Asuka's doing comedy with the whole teriyaki thing. It was awful. It's terrible, and I hope that Nakamura gets into a good feud with Rusev, and those two have barn burners because they can pull it off.
Chili Jackers, to say the least.
All right, Cass, any thoughts on Nakamura? I could see, we know when you come to WWE, you make good money. I mean, there are a few people outside of WWE, Cody Rhodes and the Bucks, that can almost make WWE kind of money, but it's very few people that can do that outside. You think Nakamura at some point said, yes, I made the big stage on the United States, but when his contract comes to terms, do you think he'll have that itch to go back to New Japan and start doing Wrestle Kingdom again? I do. I really think it'll happen within the next couple of years.
I do agree with that. I feel like he's like, it was fun over here. I proved I could do it. I got some new opponents, gave my fans of myself a fresh matchups for me to be in, and I feel like he's just almost like not getting over in America, where they're just not really doing anything with him, and I don't see him doing anything for quite a while. I don't think he's going to have any real feud. He's just going to defend the title here and there against like Shelton Benjamin and some random guys like that, and maybe they'll have like a throwaway four-way at the Saudi Arabia show with like just 4 guys just like, here, go have a match for the U.S. title. Nakamura's going to win. Then he'll be on Team SmackDown at Survivor Series when they do that Raw versus SmackDown. and then maybe he'll like turn face in that, or feud with I don't know, maybe like Joe at that point. But I just don't see Nakamura having any story, at least until the end of the year.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that his U.S. title run has basically been an afterthought, and he doesn't really have any feuds or any real direction. It's hard to say, though, where he'll be in 3 or 4 years. You never know. But I feel like you guys are right. He will probably bow out after a couple of years and maybe go back to Japan. You know, he's getting up there a little bit, so I don't know how much longer he's going to keep wrestling. He may finish out his career in WWE and then retire. Who knows? But yeah, I hope they do more with him, and I'm not really sure where you go with him, but I would like to see him in some meaningful programs. I think Virtue said it best. I think maybe it's time to give up on this heel turn experiment and have him be a babyface again.
Yeah, and I think him and Asuka, unfortunately, they can't break the English language barrier to Vince McMahon in his mind, and I think that ultimately killed their Royal Rumble pushes, you know. And of course, we all know it's Vince McMahon's way or the highway. So I like that you brought that up, though, TJS. And
do you think that he would get more heat if he just spoke Japanese instead of?
I like that.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. They're putting words up on the screen for English subtitles. Why not do the Japanese subtitles?
I say don't give him any subtitles. Just have him come out there and cut the promo.
Yeah, say, I'm not you. You people don't deserve to have me talk in English. And he just
creative. Like, I will always be critical. I'll never be critical of the talent and what they're given. But, yeah, creative and booking, I can complain about that. We all do. But like I said, it's the people that end up extending that into saying the performers are awful. That's where I get all my heat on Twitter, and I argue with people because they do the best they can. I mean, they're more like actors in a play. When you're giving that script, you got to go out and deliver it, or you're going to be at catering. So that's just a big disconnect. It's never the performer's fault. Remember, it's not the era anymore where a superstar can become bigger than the WWE, because I think Vince likes to control all of his workers, and that's what he's doing now. And that's why Roman and Braun and all these guys just never seem bigger than the WWE. And Brock, special treatment because he's willing to come back. Vince will hand him a bunch of money. You know, he's a former UFC heavyweight champion. I think his record's like 5-3 or something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but the fact is he's a former UFC heavyweight champion, and that holds some type of credibility, right?
Yeah.
All right, Aaron, Cass, do you want to bring up any bonus topics since TJS decided to go off script? That's all good. If not, I'm going to wrap it up.
Anything you want to add?
I have nothing on my mind right now other than I hope if they do subtitles with Nakamura that it doesn't end up like Kai and Tai in 2000 where it just becomes a big joke.
And, well, you know, the fans will just do the what chants too, and I think maybe that's the reason why they don't do it. But anyways, Virtue, I think you need to warm up a little bit, so let's go ahead and wrap this thing up.
What? Warm up? Huh?
You'll get it later when you watch back on this video.
Okay.
About 15 minutes ago, you really cooled off significantly.
Surely did.
I missed it. It went over my head.
You're going to have to watch the video. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Did I freeze?
Yeah.
He got it.
Are you going to show it for everybody to see?
Yes.
And I went like this?
We can't see what you're doing right now. You could be flipping us off and we're not seeing it right now.
All right. Yes. Well, anyway, do your plugs, and I will start with Cass.
All right. I've said watch Wrestling Trivia Challenge, all the episodes that I'm on, just me, and watch the finale, I guess, too. But other than that, you can follow me on Twitter at CASS, and that's about it for my plugs.
All right, TJS.
Well, NoDQ.com/TJS. That's my Twitter. Follow me there. I have the updated NoDQ.com Prediction Cups results added. And sorry, guys, that's for staff only, so fans can't get in on that. But you can still look at the results. You can cheer who you think is going to win, predict it or whatever. And then NoDQ.com/shirts. Aaron Rift is wearing that NoDQ video shirt that you can pick up. There's all kinds of shirts there. There's Virtue shirt, Aaron shirt, Jeff Meacham shirt, Greg Cherry shirts. And speaking of Greg Cherry, I hate to say it, but we have the biggest wrestling trivia challenge matchup of all time coming up. It's going to be Greg Cherry, the defending champion, versus Brian Zane from Wrestling with Regret. That's going to be up Friday, folks. Don't miss it. I guarantee you it's going to be a barn burner. It's the finale, and it's going to be hosted by Aaron Rift.
Yep.
So, I love you, Chris, but we have Aaron hosting.
Hey, I had a front row seat to that, and when that goes up, you are not going to want to miss that. It was tense.
It was a great matchup, but that's all I'm going to say about it. I guess Virtue went to go warm up a little bit, and maybe we'll see him back on here. He's thawing out right now. I'll go ahead and do his plugs in case he doesn't show up. So go over to NoDQ.com/Virtue. He just did his video with Big G. That's up on his Facebook page. I think he also posted on NoDQ. So go check that out. And, of course, NoDQ.com for the latest regarding the Super Showdown pay-per-view. Stay tuned to NoDQ's YouTube channel this week. I'll be doing NoDQ video. And then, of course, the season finale of Wrestling Trivia Challenge. Is he really gone for good? I thought he was going to just come back so he could be on video again. But I'll sign off here for Virtue, for Chris Cass, and for TJS. I'm Aaron Rift. Thank you guys for watching the NoDQ review. We will see you all next week.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network, Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Casa D18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show. Casa D18 Studios, an affiliate of the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, proudly presents this retro content from A Simple Man's Brand.
Eric, good to see you. Everybody, welcome to an ATW View Impromptu. This is WrestleMania Week hype, all the excite, all the delight, all the insight, all the inquire, and everything else that could be happening here, recorded tonight. So, Eric, first off, good to see you. How you feeling that we are now in the ultimate week of professional wrestling?
Well, let's see. The wrestling community is on fire. Let's be real about that.
I mean, when are they not on fire? But this would be the time to be on fire more than ever. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah, especially things that happened since our last ATW View.
Yeah, our last ATW View Impromptu, which, again, the wrestling industry, there is no rest. But I figured, why not and get something going with this Monday night ahead of all the rest. So I just literally figured, shoot the breeze, talk all the events, talk everything in between, react to Raw if they actually give the match order, and also maybe get some insight on Cindy G and her live experience going in. Speaking of which, let's bring her in. Gang, good to see you. We just came off James Hebert's watch party. Again,
Yes,
folks, go
we
check that out. It is a unique crowd, to say the least.
It's a very unique crowd. If y'all still want to go ahead and watch the Raw Watch Along Party, it's on James Hebert's screen on his YouTube channel. Y'all go ahead and check it out. Me and Noah just got watch done off of there.
There you go. Cindy, good to see you.
Yo.
Cindy!
It's your time.
Hey.
It's your time, pal. This is your week. Are you ready?
I know.
Are you
I'm
excited?
in my bed right now, resting because I got a long driving to do this week.
Right.
You get to see
bet you
Vendingo.
So I got my night one ticket for Mania. I'm excited.
Good.
Did you get your night two, or you just getting night
I'm
one
gonna get
so
my
far?
night two tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. So it sounds like you're gonna get your night two tomorrow. So you're definitely gonna be up in the nosebleeds, but at least you'll be there to acknowledge your travel
It doesn't
chief,
even
and of
matter,
course,
you know,
see
I'll
Cody
be like,
Rhodes.
I'm there.
Okay. There's just one important thing we need to know, Cindy.
Yes.
Will you attempt to meet Lex?
I'm gonna try and meet him, but he's gonna be like with his friends though, which is understandable.
Yeah, exactly. As this Raw has literally been hyping up every match, we got all the stories ahead and so much more. So let's just go dive right into it. We'll start with, of course, I don't know all y'all's watch routine, but we got Impact Wrestling Multiverse, we got Josh Bless Bloodsport and Kota Ibushi. We got the Ring of Honor Supercard Bar, we got the Hall of Fame, we got WrestleMania, we got NXT Stand Delivered, we got everything else in between from everybody else in the wrestling industry. So let's go ahead and just start right with it. Eric, where do you want to begin?
Okay, let's start with the obvious. Oh, are you all hyped? It looks like CM Punk's coming back. Never mind.
Hold that thought, because tomorrow on the sessions with Renee Paquette, Mox is going to tell it all.
I'm gonna listen to it when I'm getting my car washed.
Oh, I'm definitely listening to this.
I'm listening to that. 4 o'clock. Well, 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central.
There you go. You can only imagine what the man's going to disclose. What you thought would be your season finale for ATW All Access still might be. We're going to get an in-depth insight from Jon Moxley.
Yeah.
Just saying. Speaking of which, I was actually reading up on ATW All Access. Of course, we will also Zoom and engage with Wednesday night after this Dynamite. Apparently, the first episode is going to be about Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Eric, you know exactly what moment I'm talking about.
The injury.
The injury.
Yeah.
It's going to be all the sandbagging. And no TK and his involvement and discretion, lack of a direction, all that crazy stuff. It's like, okay. Well, that's
Yeah. You,
right.
you want to know what they could be doing with AEW All Access eventually?
What?
Let's just make a season dedicated to Eddie Kingston addressing his enemies.
Is that would that be TV,
yeah.
would that be TV friendly?
Well, AEW has been. Well, WBD has been cracking down on AEW's profanity.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you might be, be on TV for a team, but you still have to have standards and for the public media. Just saying. All right.
I'm like, they already had a limit, like, the whole don't smoke or we'll kick you off the air. But you can say the S word, you can say a whole bunch of other stuff. But we have to draw the line with some with some cigars.
Exactly. Austin Theory, no one sees you right now in this promo, but John Cena will see you this Saturday in the opener. Austin Theory sets the pace for this year's WrestleMania. Pressure times 100.
How about times 200?
I mean,
actually, you should increase that because remember how his year has gone so far? It's been a disaster after another.
Oh yeah, so 300 then. Yep.
I mean, he just defended the United States Championship against the 16-time world champion, former one of the most prolific United States of all time.
Yeah.
So, anyways, CM Punk looks like he's coming back, and then he said, "I'm going to shoot myself in the foot."
Because you are an idiot.
And then, yep. But like I said, Mox will tell about that Instagram post tomorrow.
But you realize what this means, right?
What does this mean?
What?
The FTR has to be gone now.
I don't know.
No, I don't
like. But the window's now more open to that possibility.
Maybe, but again, FTR, they did an all or nothing. Beat the Guns or we're done.
Yeah, but you do realize this is AEW, and we still live in a world where Cody Rhodes could never challenge for the AEW World Title again.
Well, that just means that the Guns are going to be the generation team to lead AEW Tag Division going forward.
I would say Cody shot himself in the foot for that one. If I'm being like brutally honest, Cody shot himself in the foot for that one.
Yeah, he even admits like he kind of wishes he never did that, and I was just like, then turn heel and just revoke your own statement, like you're an EVP, man.
Yeah, you had all the momentum. You was even leaning towards to being a heel, but then you stopped yourself from doing that.
Exactly.
Actually, Cody later said, like, oh, that promo where I said, what do you guys want to talk about? All that leading up to my final match. Oh, I was a heel. You just didn't know. And I was just like,
well, you fooled me then.
Well, that's a thing.
I'm going to say John Cena's going to beat him, but I doubt it because...
Oh, we have a guest.
John Cena needs to chase the IC title.
That's Matt, of course. Hello, Matt. Welcome to first time ever to
Hey, how's it going? This is my moderator / my brother from TikTok.
Just helping Russell out.
Hey, you know what? It's all about family here. It's all about looking out for one another. It's also about discussing everything and all things wrestling, as we just got done. Basically talking about CM Punk being an idiot. And also, Austin Theory just gave his last, let's just say what it is, proclamation. He says it's not going to be a Fury that I beat Cena at WrestleMania. We'll see.
I have Cena winning and have Bond Breaker. Oh, Cena does his open challenge on Monday, and then have Bond Breaker come out, defeat Cena for the US title. Boom, that's how you make Bond Breaker on the main roster.
That's a hell of an endorsement, a way to really flip the script.
Oh, speaking
for real. I mean, since Bobby Lashley ain't doing nothing at WrestleMania.
True.
That's a damn crime, by the way. That Bobby Lashley and LA Knight are doing nothing at WrestleMania.
They reportedly have a backup plan. There is rumors that they might have a plan for Bobby Lashley. LA Knight, he's been left in the dust. But I did hear something about Carmelo Hayes, what he said about NXT.
What?
Basically, he has done the presidential promise.
The presidential promise.
He said this. If I win the NXT Championship, you will say no more to the rainbow design of the belt.
Oh yeah.
I can get
So you're
behind
gonna
that.
go to the black and gold? Yeah, I can get behind that too. If he's going back to the black and gold
If
of
he's
the
going
belt
back to the
design,
pure
I
black,
can get behind it.
I'll bring it out the closet and bring it back on presentation. That actually might make me care about watching the weekly product more. You know.
Me too.
That's just a thought. Well, let's go ahead and just, since you brought that into collision, let's go ahead and talk about Stand Deliver. Because Cindy, are you going to go actually see that live, or do you have any thoughts towards that show? I don't know if she's frozen or not. No, she's thinking.
Yeah.
With her agenda and her budget.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
Right.
It's gonna be an insane weekend, you know.
You're gonna be broke, girl. You're gonna be broke.
Lots of merch and lots of other stuff. Yeah, you're gonna be broke.
Even if a tailgater purchase prices, you're gonna be broke. But anyway, all right. So King opened things up with the CM Punk debacle. King, where do you stand on this WrestleMania week hype? What do you want to talk about? The Cody Rhodes reference. What do you want to talk about?
I'm glad you brought that in there, even though we're not going to segue into that yet. But since I updated you guys with the card, we might as well get this out of the way. Super Card of Honor on Friday.
Yes.
Like, can we just say the fact that it's now a competition between Ring of Honor Tony Khan and AEW Tony Khan at this rate? Because the booking between both of them, it's basically, and I keep trying to tell people this, when you give no time restrictions on Tony, especially with Ring of Honor, especially being it on Honor Club, the man is a whole different animal. It's a whole different beast than what we're seeing in AEW. Because AEW has time restrictions and it has to meet those time restrictions. But the way how he's got the card, because you got the Embassy taking on AR Fox, Blake Christian, and Metalik. Then you have Samoa Joe defending the ROH World Television title against Mark Briscoe.
And boy.
Then you got the Reach for the Sky ladder match with Aussie Open, The Kingdom, Top Flight, Rush and Jalistico, and the Lucha Bros. Then you have Vikingo and Commander for the AAA Championship.
Yep.
And then you have, they actually did it like you talked about, Wheeler Yuta defending the ROH Pure Championship against Katsuyori Shibata.
Yep.
And then you have Claudio Castagnoli defending the Ring of Honor Championship against Eddie Kingston. Can Eddie Kingston be like the one with honor? Can he become the new Ring of Honor champion? Because Claudio said you got to be a champion with honor, and Eddie doesn't have that. But he has a different type of honor that just don't fit that Ring of Honor mold, which is what, like, I'm glad that he brought that up. Which I'm like, can Eddie be the one to lead Ring of Honor as their world champ?
It's not out of the realm of possibility, considering he's quit AEW, even if it's work or not, because I heard that's supposed to be, the Ortiz thing is supposed to pick up. What if Ortiz confronts Eddie Kingston in Ring of Honor? But Eddie Kingston hasn't held a championship since 2019. Cindy doesn't have to write that down either. Also, that does need to be brought down. Side tangent. Congratulations to the one with legs for days, Stacy Keibler, going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Congrats.
Made official by Bleacher Report. Underrated, maybe, but she definitely had one impact, to say the least. Congratulations to Stacy Keibler, now joining the Great Muta and Rey Mysterio and Andy Kaufman, and that's this class, this year's Hall of Fame class 2023. I gotta imagine there's gonna be one more inductee before the week's out, probably on the bump or something.
So you gotta have a celebrity wing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Dana Warrior will be there too.
Oh yeah, the Warrior Award. You gotta have that one too.
I forgot about that actually.
Yeah, and they haven't even announced who's going to be part of the Warrior Award.
I can't even think of anybody that could be for that. Honestly,
I have nobody comes to mind that I know of.
So Cindy, Cindy, what's your thoughts on Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor? You're going to be attending that live, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. First time. I'm really looking forward to it.
Is there a particular match you're looking forward to, or a result that you think is going to happen? Like, give your overall.
Samoa Joe versus Mark Briscoe for the television title. The Reach for the Sky ladder match is going to be a banger after banger.
Duh.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to, and also curious about the ROH tag title belt design.
You think they're not going to keep the classic titles?
You think they're gonna keep the classic tag team titles?
I mean, they're gonna have to retire the title because the current title design because
of Jay, just like they did with the TNT title with Brody Lee. Yep, I get where you're coming from, Cindy. I really do.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You're right. That makes sense.
So it has to either they're gonna have to change the strap color like they did with the TNT title, or recreate a new design. Yeah.
Do you have any idea what
it's going to be interesting what they do.
Considering all the tiles are silver and red.
I would say with the old ROH title and modify it a bit to make it modern.
Well, maybe adjust the logo to be the new logo now for Ring of Honor. I mean, so they could do something like that, but they still have the classic Ring of Honor Television Championship, and they haven't remoted that. You wonder if Mark Briscoe wins, would that be remoted maybe into something else?
Mm-hmm.
Eric, any thoughts on the Supercard Bar pay-per-view? Eddie Kingston, Clark Castagnoli, any input you might have? Or
let's see. I was trying to look back on this, and I thought, wait, if my thoughts are correct, and since they have no time limit this time with pay-per-view show, what happens if it collides with Rampage on that night?
Is Rampage still on Friday night?
Yes. For as far as I know, yes, it is.
And that's during the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
That's got to be a pre-tape. No one's going to be watching that. I'm sorry. No one's going to be watching that.
I'm like, it's always taped. I'm like, they're not going to air it live. If they do,
it's not always taped, but that's going to be one of the lowest viewed Rampages ever. The Hall of Fame.
Exactly. And I hate to say that, but
don't challenge
it is true.
The Hall of Fame.
No, you don't. Not at all.
So yeah,
I mean, like, there's only like one show I can think of that challenged the Hall of Fame.
What?
And what would that be?
The G1 Supercard of Honor event years back.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
That's a fair point. I'll give you that. I just don't know if I can see both Mark Briscoe and Eddie Kingston winning that night, but I do feel like one title is going to change hands. It just feels like it should happen, you know, in this new era, the first pay-per-view of the new era. Just saying. And Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville are off to WrestleMania.
They beat Mia Yim and Candice LeRae.
And join the field of Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, and Shotzi Blackheart and Natalya.
Speaking of Ronda Rousey, have you heard what Ronda Rousey did on Instagram?
I think she berated something, if I remember correctly.
She berated about what was that old word? I can't pronounce it, but I did post it on Twitter. The definition of it is the meaning of a 80 to 84-year-old demographic, male or female, that basically making their debut on written on TV. And I was like, oh, so you're criticizing Vince, ain't you?
Ooh.
Well, that's the first I heard it. I'm talking about the other thing she criticized yesterday.
What else did she criticize?
I mean, what has she criticized at this point? Just saying.
She said this: imagine what our Liv Morgan feud could have been if we weren't hamstrung by a bunch of Octagonians who still think
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She did
She's
say
talking about Vince.
She did say she wanted text. I mean, you can say what you want about Ronda Rousey, but I do think she actually cares about this. But the fact that the booking didn't care the way she cared has kind of soured her. That's the way I interpret it.
Then I'm pretty sure her getting injured also set her off.
Yeah.
Probably. Well, that being said, if a title's going to change hands, it just feels like if they're going to honor the Briscoes, Mark Briscoe, this might be his time. That's the only title I could actually see maybe changing hands at this point. Maybe the six-man tag team titles.
So you think Wheeler is going to retain the Pure Championship against Shibata?
I do think this is a move where, once again, Tony Khan shot himself in the foot. Orange Cassidy beat Katsuyori Shibata and retained the AEW now International Championship, but you can't put Pure not in the same sentence with Katsuyori Shibata. It's one of those things where it's like, and the Blackpool Combat Club with this program with the Elite, and I see them being blood and guts in some facet. Maybe both Kyle and Yuta actually do lose their titles now that you say that. I'm a little torn. I'm not sure, actually.
Wait, now that I think about it, what if the Elite show up on Supercard?
You're right, because he's right. Because of what happened before the show even kicked off on Dynamite, the Blackpool Combat Club got a hold of the Bucks and sent the Bucks to the emergency room, to the hospital, and then they came back and attacked Omega.
Also, you forgot they were part of ROH at one point.
And former
exactly.
champs, I believe.
Yeah, so yeah, you're on to something there.
Yeah, that's a very realistic thought there. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Well,
but also, as we were talking about Vince McMahon and his horrible treatment with women, he paid $17.4 million to WWE for the investigation.
Yeah, I heard.
I was just like, okay, so
it's
chump change to him. Reimbursement, or do we write this as bribery?
It's chump change to him.
Yeah, about to say, is it dropping the bucket to a multi-billionaire? Just saying. That's back in the company forefront, dictating its future from the sale. I'm just saying.
And also we have a string of injuries now plaguing the wrestling world.
Yeah, we had Josh Alexander, we've had Mickey James, just to name a key couple. And
Bray Wyatt's sick.
Bray Wyatt is sick, yeah.
Since February.
Talk about that
earlier.
Earlier.
And also just to make everyone freak out, Buddy Matthews is also injured.
Damn.
Which is why Brody King lost that episode with Daniel Garcia.
On Rampage, right?
Yeah, originally it was going to be Buddy Matthews versus Daniel Garcia, but then Buddy Matthews was like, I'm hurt. Okay, we have to get Brody King in there.
Eric, do you know the length of how much time he's going to miss?
No idea yet. There's been no updates since the 26th.
And
all right, so we're going to get a Demon Finn Balor at Mania.
Correct. Yeah. You're going to get Demon Finn Balor versus Brute Edge, and chances are Gangrel is going to be there. So you'll get the Red Crave hit and all the theatrical entrances that you can think of as we will. I'm just going to call it what it is. This is Final Judgment. One of these men is going to be done.
I like that.
Period.
Yep.
Yeah, update. I found out, Matthews got hurt apparently after the Trios 3-way match.
That don't surprise me.
No, because that match was a banger. It really was a banger in Canada.
Again, these Dynamite main events have been bangers these last several weeks. I mean, Vikingo and Kenny Omega, that's a hell of a hot start to a singles run for the cleaner.
And his singles run is not even done. We're still just getting started.
Yeah, considering this Wednesday, he defends the IWGP United States Championship against Jeff Cobb.
Yeah,
you know very well, Cindy. Big Cobb.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Cobb.
You want to know what I'm half tempted to think Kenny Omega's going to think of?
What?
Imagine if he decides to go ahead on TV and saying, "Hey, Jonah, this could have been you."
Oh, damn. Is Jonah?
Imagine if he said that.
Is Jonah?
What a shot that would have been.
Is Jonah even in the Dre? I haven't heard or seen high nor tail of.
Yes, Bronson. Yeah, Bronson is in the Dre.
Damn.
Yep.
What a waste of talent. Yeah, well, again, another waste of talent. Go figure.
He beat Okada.
Yep.
But he wants to take a payday.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, if you have a family, and I do feel like a lot of these people are more influenced by family, you do what you got to do. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Multiverse United.
There is one thing, speaking of Ring of Honor.
Go ahead.
Guess what someone revealed on the two-man power trip of wrestling?
Yeah.
Nigel McGuinness?
Yeah, guess what he revealed?
What?
What's that?
He might be coming back to get in the ring.
Ooh, run back Nigel McGuinness with Claudio Castagnoli.
Is that why Brian Danielson meant home? Now that I think about it, when you put two and two together,
very
but like this is what he said. That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Exactly. Yeah. Everyone's asked me that as soon as I went my separate ways with WWE as well. I can't give a definitive answer other than to say I certainly feel my strengths at this point in my life and other aspects of the industry, but I wouldn't rule it out 100% either, you know? There's always that part of you that wants to have that final moment, but sometimes cooler heads and smart heads have to prevail. So it's a cliche, of course, just to say never.
As we always say.
Yeah, and he also brings up Edge, Lita, Trish Stratus, and other people who managed to come back.
And now we have the advocate, or excuse me, the wise counsel, special counsel, excuse me, the wise man, Paul Heyman. Will Paul Heyman become simply an advocate when the story is finished? We'll talk more about that.
I'm still saying they should have put the tagline, "A dynasty falls, a dynasty rises."
I expect you to put that out at the end of the show, no matter what. I'll be watching the Twitter as I call this in the Championship Multiverse Media. So
yeah, I'm going to be seeing it too and then retweet it.
But there is an update on that too, on the main event of WrestleMania.
Another update on the main. Okay, well, what do you mean? Yeah, go ahead.
Reportedly, according to WrestleVotes, so you should take this with as much possibility as well. New world title belt design.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, it's been approved by Triple H.
But the thing is, what sort of title is it going to be? What will it shape? And again, title. Does that mean we still are going to have one overall undisputed champion?
Well, here's the update on that too. There's been an update on that too. Two things actually. One, Triple H actually was thinking of getting rid of the Universal belt just to bring back the Big Gold belt. For God's sakes, please. And two, he wants to have it. He wants to separate the titles again by SummerSlam.
Perfect. I say do it.
That's perfect.
I was thinking King and Queen of the Ring. Don't give them a crown. Give them actually a championship. You redefine it, you know? But anyway. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Multiverse United, because that's going to be interesting.
Oh, wow.
What's
Ooh. When you say big dog to the Tribal Chief.
Hey, remember the big dog, the former identity?
Oh, yeah.
The Shield.
Back when Roman was the most hated wrestler and the most hated
baby face. Yep, exactly.
At this point, is he going to be the most hated heel in WWE, if not the industry, based on what could be happening with him and Cody Rhodes? Cody Rhodes was never ready to dream. That's harsh. Cody Rhodes has always been a dreamer. Say Cody Rhodes is not ready. That's a bold take, Paul Heyman. Solo Sikoa may not be ready, but I think Cody Rhodes is more than ready. He said himself, from undesirable to undeniable. There's only one thing left to become undisputed.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes has a long road ahead of him. And like, if he does indeed win WrestleMania, how are you going to top the Tribal Chief run?
Well, if do the work means literally being the most prolific champion in WWE history, all I gotta say is good luck, American Nightmare, because that might be a nightmare that Cody Rhodes may hope he wakes up from at some point.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a great match. Also, with how Roman kept bringing up a whole bunch of Cody's past, I was surprised Cody never responded back about his heel turn and how he was the most hated guy on the internet.
Damn.
And on the crowd.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't bring that up in that promo. I'm surprised he didn't brought that up.
But apparently Cody Rhodes brought up every bit of history from his wrestling career, because his late build up WrestleMania is going to literally encompass every company he's been involved in, including AEW.
Yeah. And speaking of AEW, King, I gotta tell you something. King, Cindy, I hope you're hearing this. Tony Khan apparently has finalized a deal to include another show for AEW.
What, the July 8th show?
AEW Collision, as it's rumored, set to air at 6:05 in July.
Yep. Which is why I think it's going to be that July 8th show in Saskatchewan, because it just says AEW come to our Saturday Night Live AEW wrestling event.
It doesn't say
they haven't named it yet.
It just says a live event. That's going to be when they kick it off.
Exactly.
Yeah, and my opinion, and my thoughts on that was this: Tony, can you now delegate? I mean,
here's what I think about it. If Warner Brother Discovery loves what AEW's putting out, there's nothing we can do about it.
That's true.
It's not that I get the content idea. It's just that Tony, you need to delegate power to people that you can trust.
Yeah. Agreed.
And at this point, I mean, he needs to. Again, I do wonder how.
Oh boy!
Oh Lord!
Oh boy!
Oh God! What happened?
He got his butt put by his daddy,
Angie Mysterio.
Oh,
look, I'm just gonna say this for record right now. You do not freaking instigate, insult, belittle, or try to buck up to your own damn mother.
Oh God, I just had an idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I know she's not going to be available by that time, and it will be too late. So unless WWE has, pride in them to just man up and ask, imagine if Vicky Guerrero showed up and slapped Dominic.
Yes.
That would happen if it was only in July.
Yeah.
Yes. That or WWE just mans up and says, "Well, can we borrow Vicky Guerrero and we will mention you."
Exactly.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. Ever.
What'd you say, Cindy?
What'd you say, Cindy?
Hold on. Say something in Spanish.
Oh.
What kind of? Ooh. Talking about his mama.
I'm gonna guess he said something insulting about his mother. Habla no español.
Well, Sami Zayn did say the F-bomb on TV in his native tongue.
I did hear about that. Yeah. Ahead of Liz Chamber. Again, this is personal. The only way this becomes more personal is if it becomes mask versus hair.
Oh, whoa.
That's my thought on that as we take a listen here. XCOM Dom.
We get it, Dom.
He's got to drive into the ground, Cindy. You know that. This is what's the word I'm looking for? Disgruntled son who is disappointed and ashamed to know that his father is Rey Mysterio. Character-wise or realistic, I'll let you be the judge. But
here comes Fred.
Booyaka.
And his fake tattoo is too medium small, like the original.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Charlotte thinks the same way about her dad.
Yeah, but a Flair versus Mysterio. I mean, let's just put it out there.
I'll go with a Mysterio over a Flair.
How controversial is a Flair versus a Mysterio? I'm just saying.
And like the closest thing Mysterio ever had to a controversy was the "Who's Your Daddy" storyline, where kids at school were asking Dominic, "Is everything good at home?"
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord.
Or the one moment that when me and Noah was on the Discord today about Ray about the incident in Mexico.
Oh yeah, where Ray accidentally killed a guy.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Unfortunately, and I feel like the internet will never forget about it.
I honestly forgot about it.
I did too, personally, until it was brought up.
I did too, and then
there are
Discord, they brought it up.
There are some wounds that don't need to be reopened. I'm just freaking saying. God. Oh, and speed of injuries. Also, Will Ospreay, please get well soon.
I forgot about
it's actually been reported his injury is much worse than they thought.
Exactly. He's going to require surgery.
And King, I got to break the news to you, man. I got to break the news to you, King.
Go ahead.
Forbidden Door was said to be to continue the feud of Omega and Ospreay.
Wah, wah.
We are not having this again. We've already endured this once last year. I don't need to hear another injury-plagued Forbidden Door this year. No.
It's happening. It's happening.
You know the whole injury bug for like the New Japan Impact Wrestling Multiverses.
Yeah, that too.
Well, Josh Alexander torn tricep. Now we got Steve Macklin versus Kushida at Rebellion.
Rebellion.
Trying to do champion.
Hurt her ribs.
But
also there's been an update on Swerve's faction.
Oh, yeah, because Trench and Parker Boudreaux got written off. That's the reason why Swerve hadn't been on.
Yeah,
television.
they're injured.
There you go. Well, again, Parker Boudreaux, green as goose blank because enough said.
Hey, let's not be that harsh. I mean, like, he's not doing the disaster stuff that Nia Jax did.
That's fair.
But still, though, I feel like
air. He punched air.
Would you prefer if he actually punched the person in the face and broke their nose?
I don't think he would have done that with Dustin. He was a Dustin.
When he's rehabbed and fully ready to go to do like some wrestling work, yeah, he needs to hit back with like somebody, like go to like be with Dustin, have Dustin train him a little bit.
By the way, if y'all didn't check it out, the Dustin Rhodes Academy Showcase 7, great stuff. Congratulations to Harley Jane, who came back from a stroke, by the way, and became the new Rhodes Wrestling Academy Women's Champion. Congratulations. Respect. That's a comeback story right there. That's a victory. You think you're not going to be able to do it and you're never going to do this again. You go through speech and physical rehabilitation and now you're a champion. That's passion.
Also, Mickie James is suffering from a rib injury.
Yes, and according to what we heard at Sacrifice, if the rib injury is not enough for her to be medically clear to capably defend the Knockouts World Championship at Rebellion, she will relinquish it. But regardless, we know Rebellion will be Jordan Grace versus the winner of now a four-way between Killer Kelly, the debuting Miyu Yamashita, Masha Slebovics, or not Killer Kelly, excuse me, that's my dream. Botch. Also, Timothy Stratton, go back to Hollywood. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. The debuting Miyu Yamashita, I don't care about those type of women. Masha Slebovics, Deshelle Shaw, and who else? Diana Perazzo. So basically, you have a knockouts picture for the title.
But didn't a certain knockout made her return to Impact Bottle One Boricua, Tasha Steelz?
I was surprised by that, but yes, she did. But Tasha Steelz is back in Impact Wrestling.
Cora Jade is injured.
Yes, she is. Man, so many daggone injuries.
She's been injured for 2 months, actually.
And according to Roxanne Perez, she is clear, but she hasn't been brought back on TV yet. So whether or not she comes back, day of stand delivered, and serves some of that ladder match, or we see her afterwards in the NXT remains to be seen. But again,
also we need to address the massive elephant in the room.
What would that be?
There's a massive elephant?
What the fuck, XPW?
Oh
God.
Cindy knows all about that one.
I heard what happened. I was like,
my video on TikTok got viral already about that. I even like FTW made a video.
Cindy knows all about that one. I just seen the clip and oh my God, gruesome.
And you know what's so annoying? I told people, like, I'm not gonna say any details, like what happened, contest. So I had to make a TikTok story saying, hey, this is the only time I'll say it. First of all, look at the comments. Second of all, look at other wrestling TikTok creators talking about it. They say it in like a bit of a detail, but like not in full blown. And then I say, this is all on you. If you're curious, go Google search it or on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm just
but
gonna
otherwise,
say,
if you're
right.
I heard what happened. And I was just like, why?
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yes,
and okay, fine. We've seen wrestlers do stupid stuff in the past, like I'm trying to remember his name. New Jack attempting murder. And in fact, his entire career was involving murder.
About the mass transit incident.
No, another incident where he confessed he tried to kill a guy for breaking his brain back in CZW.
Yeah, mass transit. Yeah, I remember that, but yeah.
No, not mass transit, another wrestling incident where New Jack fell, broke, and had some busted brain damage, and then years later he admitted he tried to kill a guy over that by throwing him off and hoping he crashes his neck.
Because I watched Dark Side of the Ring that episode.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you had John Cena being stabbed.
Yeah. And you're just like, why hasn't this gone away yet? Why hasn't this attitude gone away yet?
I don't know. I don't know. I really pray one day that humanity finally.
In fact, now heading into GCW stuff for Spring Break 7, I'm like, oh god, what is Kota Ibushi and Joey Janelle gonna do? Considering Joey Janelle likes to set himself on fire and not have extinguishers.
Yeah.
God, I don't know. But speaking of which, yeah, Kota Ibushi in the States wrestling, and he's got a hell of an agenda ahead of him. And it starts off at Judgment's Bloodsport against Speedball Mike Bailey.
Yes.
That's going to be a very unique America homecoming of sorts for now free agent Kota Ibushi. And considering his race, he's probably going to stay free agent.
I'm pretty sure if he ever does go to AEW, he'll probably do it after Forbidden Door just so he doesn't get awkward conversations.
Oh, there'll still be awkward conversations. I don't care what you tell me. There'll still be awkward conversations.
Regardless.
That's awkward in general. Of course, the Multiverse United, speaking of Speedball, he'll be facing the Ace now versus Tanahashi. Minoru's against Kenta, contend over the Strawweight Championship. Trey Miguel defends the Judgment title against 5 other people. Moose takes on Jeff Cobb. Uyemura versus Gabriel Kidd. This is quite a stat card. And in fact, this is the one show that sold out first.
The Phantasma's there making a save.
Well, we all know the respect that the God of the Phantasma has for Rey Mysterio.
Oh, they're going to be involved at WrestleMania this year, I heard.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that? Because they're all in the Dre.
Well, you got to remember, Dominic is part Judgment Day, and Rey Mysterio has friends now.
Yeah, so they, got it.
The
whole numbers game per se. All right. Well, we also got NXT Stand Delivered. Will it be Braun Breaker's final stand? Will Carmelo not miss where it matters the most? We'll see who get a new NXT Women's Champion. Does Chase U become inclusive? And Dragon Lee makes his NXT debut. Curious how insane he keeps his style or how much.
Oh, yeah. And then we got Carl Frederick's NXT debut.
That's right. Kevin Thorpe, Eddie Thorpe, excuse me. Botch.
Eddie Thorpe, yeah.
Tomorrow.
Don't like the name.
Fun fact, the name Eddie Thorpe. Eddie's named after his family member, his brother, and Thorpe is named after a Native American athlete named Tom Thorpe or something.
Tom Thorpe? I'm not familiar with that name, but
he's an old school baseball player.
Andre the Giant.
You're right, or Armbar.
ARMBR exclamation point.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant, a one-of-a-kind anomaly of the wrestling industry. And this so-called Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal has been nothing but a wasted ploy on TV for the last several years.
But the multiverse of matches, I am looking forward to Kenta and Suzuki. That is my match to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Kenta Suzuki, Pro Wrestling Noah, freaking rehabilitated, and now for the Strawweight Championship. Let's freaking go. Bullet Club, we don't know where they stand without a leader. David Finlay lost the Cup, so we haven't heard high nor tail from him or Gato.
Yeah, I don't
play hands. So
I'm still not a fan of David Finlay being part of Bullet Club, but I guess
I find that weird though. I mean, I get the fact that there's a history with him and Jay Whitehall, so I at least get the connection. But
speaking of club,
ELC,
Good brothers.
AJ Styles, of course, also injured. Please get well soon.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano's in it.
Rick Boogs
speaking of Johnny Gargano, apparently there are talks now to have DIY reunion.
I heard about that when Ciampa comes back from injury, and also for Johnny
Elias and Rick Boogs are in it, the Dre or Armbar.
Also, of course, or Dexter Loomis.
Oh yeah, possible call up for Indy Hartwell.
There's Bronson.
Yep, you did talk about it. Yeah, I heard about that. This could be Indy Hartwell's swan song, being the longest tenured. I can see Indy Hartwell and or Zoe Stark being called up to the main roster, honestly.
Yeah, actually, it's been reported
planning to have a plan at WrestleMania.
Actually, it's been reported that they are going to call up a whole bunch of NXT wrestlers during the draft season.
Whenever that's supposed to be, brand split, LOL.
Yeah, but there is something I want to tell you. So remember how we were having that shocking moment where Dave Meltzer was being corrected by Tony Khan?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, Dave Meltzer has done Dave Meltzer has shocked the wrestling world.
What else is new?
He went ahead and gave something, and he said something positive about WWE, or at the very least, neutral.
Well, I mean, hey, he did that last year with Cody Rhodes in the Hell in a Cell match. What do you say now?
Yeah, except that match was stupid, doing the fact that he had a torn tricep. Oh, but anyways, you want to know, this might surprise you. You want to know what Dave Meltzer has claimed what WWE has planned for WrestleMania afterwards?
What?
WWE has 1 year of post WrestleMania stories ready planned out. We have a mapped out plan.
I heard about that, yeah, and it's all concerning around the members of the Bloodline. So that tells me again, Bloodline.
Actually, LA Knight's set to also get a push.
I heard about that. Despite the craze in the Dre.
Same. I heard about that.
That does make me think he's a first ballot person to win the freaking thing, if that's worth anything.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes have one last face-to-face confrontation, the final time before WrestleMania, Friday.
For Sunday
night.
WrestleMania.
Oh boy.
Also, let's make an open letter first. We can't have Goldberg in AEW, damn it.
I agree. There's no argument there. Completely agree. I mean, we're just.
I think we're all in agreement there.
Yep.
And guess who's also open to joining AEW? And I was like, no.
Don't you say it.
Angry.
Don't you say it.
What?
I know exactly what you're about to say.
The irresistible force, Nia Jax.
Yeah, pass. That's all I gotta say about that.
Pass. 2 of the hardest passes.
Yeah,
and I don't want Tony to even think about it. I don't want Tony to even say anything about it. Leave it alone.
Yep.
Well, actually, Tony Khan already talked about Goldberg and saying he's keeping an eye on him.
Darn it.
Big money, big name, WCW. It's Tony Khan. We'll see what happens with that.
Well, he hasn't talked about Nia Jax, so hopefully that's
good.
Not the win.
At least that's good.
Yeah, at least that's a good thing. So let's see here. What else is going on? We got Sakura Genesis, of course. We'll see Mercedes Moné escapes with the championship against Sume and Hasuki of Stardom. Triple threat. Sonata under just 5 guys. Won the New Japan Cup for the first time ever. And will take on Kazuchika Okada. And Robbie Eagles is part of TMDK, no longer part of Chaos.
No.
Chaos is just falling apart, huh?
That and LIJ, just saying. Good grief.
Yeah, LIJ falling apart too.
I feel like LIJ's falling more apart than freaking Chaos, because then Chaos got Leo Rush.
And right?
Yeah, Leo Rush is injured, by the way.
Not surprised.
Yeah, because they had to change the card for GCW's emo fight for Friday night to Saturday, like the Friday, like 11:59 to Saturday 12 a.m. Yeah, because he was supposed to be facing the Zombie Princess Jimmy Jacobs.
I remember you told me about that. So before we go into,
so pretty much Jimmy Jacob is facing Kevin Blackwood.
Kevin Blackwood, all right.
Yeah, he wrestled
that match. Yeah, I recognize. So I recognize some of his work.
Me too.
So Cindy, go ahead and go. What?
I'm gonna add some about this whole XPW bullshit that happened this past weekend. Also, like with that fucking stunt that XPW did, even though yes, it's hurting independent wrestling. Even though like the indie wrestling scene would be okay, but it's gonna hurt the people that does death matches, like the promotion wise.
Exactly.
Because now the promotion are gonna be trying to be careful what they're doing. Because now with that bullshit that XPW did, they're going to investigate it regardless too. And there's rumor that there's kids in the present at XPW.
Yeah, they're done. They're done. XPW is done.
Yep.
XPW is done.
So, GCW and other companies that does death matches have to be careful, and not make it too.
You can say what you want about GCW, Nick F. Engage, Kings Road Style, and Light Twos, but GCW ain't never done no sick ass shit. Lord forgive me, like that.
Well, didn't they also use knives at one point and stabbed each other to the point that they had to cancel the match 3 minutes in?
Yeah, I remember that. Yep, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I wish I did. Yeah, yes, that's true. They haven't done that though in forever. By the way, congratulations to Boston Slamus, the new GCW heavyweight champion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Big deal.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. That's extremely extreme.
It's
Congrats.
crazy.
You're right. Good grief. Egmash and Speedball both right now trying to challenge each other for the hardest working people in the entire wrestling industry of their schedules already. Good grief almighty.
Also, you want to know what we need to also talk about besides XPW and what the hell happened there?
Besides our main event, which will be, of course, WrestleMania, also getting Cindy's rundown of her live agenda itinerary. Go ahead.
Will everyone stop stalking the wrestlers?
Oh,
Yes,
my God, right?
Humanity needs to be better. Wrestlers are people. People are people. We are all human. Everybody has their boundaries. There are events. There are circumstances. There are occasions where you can do this. There is not right publicly in a free-form environment under any circumstances to do some shit like that. You're wrong, period.
Yeah, like I said this on Twitter. If I met a wrestler anywhere, I would just ask for a photo with them. If they said they're in a hurry, I let them go on about their day. Not, hey, let's sign hundreds of stuff so I can sell it on eBay and force you to risk missing your flight.
Oh, there you go. Speaking of wrestlers, let's respect two brothers for life and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And will it be Wrestle Zayn and KO Mania with new undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions? If this don't open up night 2, I will be bloody shocked.
Also, speaking of Hall of Fame stuff, I had to refine this report while we were all talking. So WWE actually had a bunch of other names considered to be inducted, and then they were like, screw that.
Yeah, of course, as usual.
You want to know who the first one was?
Who was it?
Undertaker's wife, Michelle McCool.
I knew it. That wouldn't surprise me. Again, she was in the Royal Rumble. I knew it.
Second name, China.
Oh, China was finally going to get her solo duck, but I know why they're not going to do it because of her off-screen, stuff that she did. That's the reason why.
But here's the thing: the fact that was actually considered after she's dead, and they start talking about her after she's dead, is already scummy enough.
If I was saying there's no justice in it, regardless, we know she deserves it, but even doing it now.
Oh, but guess who also decided to be given the snub, despite being dead for over a decade?
Oh, this one I gotta hear.
The Simone Bulldozer!
Umaga! Oh, man. I say it once, I'll say it again. The Hall of Fame, still to this day, is never truly a honorable class that rightfully deserves it with the fullest intent and thinking behind it. And I also going to say this too, Victoria. Victoria deserves it too. There, I said it.
Also, right. I have a realization. We're at WrestleMania Hollywood. Why hasn't Batista at the very least been a lead member?
Isn't he doing a movie, I thought, or something?
Yeah, he is.
Who is?
Batista.
He was supposed to be involved this year, but he's doing other movie commitments from what I've heard, or else he would have been inducted this year in LA.
There you go.
Yeah, but I was just like, okay, China, no. Like, as much as I would like China to get that redemption stuff she went through, she had to be alive for that. And the fact that
Dolph Ziggler.
We were literally talking about this guy earlier, King.
Yeah, we were.
Okay.
And now he's about to be chopped and powerbombed by Volta.
Hey, here's the question. Does this go longer than Mustafa Ali versus Seth Rollins?
Probably not.
A little bit shorter.
In fact, guess who wants to fight Walter?
Who?
Oh my God, my friend's gonna be happy.
Rhea Ripley challenged Walter for the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh yeah, I read that.
She takes the China thing quite literally. She respects that. She could be a Intercontinental champion. Why the heck not? I'm game for it. Personally, I hope she becomes the SmackDown Women's Champion because she deserves it. Damn it.
Also, I have another update about Miro.
Yeah, whatever happened to the Redeemer? I know he did like a voice acting thing. Oh my God!
Oh,
Walter killed Dolph Ziggler.
Oh my
Oh, no,
God!
he
He
chopped
killed
him to
Ziggler.
death.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, continue.
But anyways, I remember how Miro was supposedly going to get a plan for him, and then he turned it down, and now they don't know what to do.
Yes.
Well, I found out what the plan apparently was.
What was it?
Apparently, I can't confirm this 100% yet. The plan was, Miro, do you want to fight Hangman Adam Page? No. Oh. Okay.
That would have been an interesting match.
About that, Eric, you know it wasn't Adam Hangman Page, it was Ethan Page instead.
Yeah, that was also the word I was hearing. That's why I said I wasn't 100% certain.
That's fair. Because Oliver Page right now, he's learning to adapt to this party situation.
But apparently this is what Meltzer was claiming. He said AEW earmarked for a Battle Royale slot for the Full Gear pay-per-view, and Miro and Hangman Adam Page were going to be the final two before Page won.
Oh, well, there you go. We all saw what happened with that. All right. So, Cindy, go ahead and run us down your itinerary for WrestleMania week. What you doing?
Okay,
Does it involve drinking a ton of energy drinks?
Yeah.
That's me.
Right.
Can you believe
And
can you believe I have not had a Mountain Dew since noon?
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm
But
tired.
what about the box of Mountain Dews you have in your room?
They're still.
Don't you have a case?
They're still in the case. It's not in the mini fridge yet.
Oh my goodness.
Noah.
Noah.
I don't know if I'm just too tired and I'm just started drinking a bit more water, or I just don't know. My mind's all over the place. It's WrestleMania week, damn it.
Yeah, it'll get to me. It's already getting to me as we speak. It's only Monday.
It's gonna hit me like a wrecking ball tomorrow night on NoDQ when people are like, Noah, drink a Mountain Dew every time this is said. So help me. Anyway, that's tomorrow night. It's not about me, and it's about wrestling. Back to Sandy. Sandy, what's the plan for the week?
What you got, girl?
So I'm gonna be leaving on Tuesday to crash at my friend's house, who lives almost 2 hours away from where I'm living, which is perfect. So that way I don't have to drive like an 8 hour from here to Los Angeles. So it's gonna be like from my friend's house, because 2 of my friends lives in Salinas, which is like almost a 6 hour drive from there to LA. So I'll crash at my friend's house tomorrow before NXT start, and then we'll be leaving on Friday morning to LA. We're gonna go for a rest stop in Bakersfield, like the big ass rest stop that everybody goes to, and switch drivers. I'm driving the first half, and then he's driving the one.
Okay, I see. That way you're both constantly focused. Continue.
Good. That's good one.
Yeah, and what we're gonna do is that if we arrive early, we're gonna visit the Black Craft Cult headquarters. It's not my idea; it's my friend's idea because he's so loyal to that brand.
Respect.
I don't know. Yeah, but it'll be cool to buy 1 or 2 things. That way I can add it for my car. Yeah. And then after that, we're going to go get some like grocery for breakfast and snacks, because we're not paying eating out that much. No.
You'll be broke before you get to the damn venue.
Exactly.
Well, I know. Which has a nice kitchenette though, which I'm happy about that, and a barbecue. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, barbecue.
Buy the sauce. Buy the sauce.
Yeah. Which we are staying at a suite at a hotel, which thank God for my parents being part of a membership timeshare. And we used the same membership when we went to Hawaii last year. So, and it's under my name. All I gotta do is just put my $250 deposit on my credit card, and I'm good.
Brilliant.
Because the room is covered.
All right, so it sounds you got all the preliminary stuff out of the way. So when does the wrestling stuff actually begin before you start losing your mind?
Right.
She's got to look at all the shows. I mean, we talked about Multiverse United. We talked about Ring of Honor Car Bar. We talked about the Hall of Fame. We talked about NXT Stand Delivered. And here shortly, we'll talk about our biggest excitement, stories, plots, predictions.
So we're going to be checking into the room on Wednesday at 4:00 before AEW Dynamite, which we're going to be watching it for sure, and AEW All Access.
And if I got Omega versus freaking Jeff Cobb, and of course they
there may be.
But what's the story?
Okay, so exactly. So next day, Thursday. So Thursday, we're gonna be leaving early because I got to do a collaboration for TikTok. If not, we'll just do some sightseeing, and then I gotta
Unless
drop my
TikTok gets shut
friends off
down.
at the Globe Theater since they're going to the Multiverse.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're gonna be at the Multiverse. I'm driving to Ukrainian Culture Center to watch GCW's DDT Pro Goes Hollywood. That's right. I'll be seeing Konosuke Takesha there. Mako Nakazawa is going to be there. Eddie Kingston is going to be there, which I'm going to bring pen and paper with me.
You make sure you write that down. Continue.
Right.
Yeah. So, yep. And that's my itinerary for Thursday. Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, Friday, we're just going to relax, chill, eat in the hotel, and then we're going to be leaving early so that way we can get to the venue for Super Card of Honor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. After Super Card of Honor, we're just gonna get like a late night dinner and then go to GCW's emo fight.
All right.
Yeah, which we're gonna be tired as shit because we won't be back at the hotel by 3 in the morning.
Oh God.
So that's like 5 o'clock Central, 6 o'clock. Dang, God.
Yeah, because the show starts at midnight.
Good Lord.
At midnight.
Insane.
That's insane.
Yeah, which that's why we're skipping Stand and Deliver.
Oh, now see why.
So we're gonna wake up early to watch Stand and Deliver on TV, and then after the show's over, we're gonna go head to SoFi.
And
you know what I just had a thought of when you mentioned the midnight show?
What?
I'm pretty sure someone in AEW is thinking, why didn't I think of that?
Because they did
give Tony Khan the ideas.
They did one, remember before? They did, yeah. Remember the hour-long Dynamite after the NBA at 12:30
Saturday
morning.
Yep.
Yeah, except that was an NBA special, and they still got big viewership.
I don't know how.
Surprisingly.
Continue, Cindy.
Yeah. So Saturday night 1 of Mania, Sunday night 2.
Nothing else before Mania night 2 on Sunday. Just complete like rest and relax and hype.
And if possible, you and your friends are going to meet up with Lex and probably get drunk afterwards.
Oh God.
Yeah, pretty much. So after Mania, we're just gonna be there, relax, and all that, and then we're gonna be heading back.
And not gonna try and endure the Raw after Mania.
No, because we gotta check out our hotel by 10 in the morning.
Yeah, that's right. That's the checkout times.
So therefore, we're heading back to Salinas, which I'm staying at my friend's house, which it's good for me because I can stay at my friend's house and then go home the next day on Tuesday.
Well, that being said, it's main event time on Raws, and you know what that means. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes is about to enter his way in the arena.
Go ahead and sing the proper song of Kingdom.
Cindy knows. Cindy knows. Oh.
In my soul,
adrenaline in my soul, something Cody Rhodes.
Do it all to get them on the ring. Damn it, Cindy! Crowd is here.
Cindy, if you was there live when Noah sung it, you would have laughed out loud like I did.
Oh yeah, you had karaoke night.
Whoa.
My father said.
Yep, they had open mic night Saturday night.
I know.
Hard times be better, man. There, that's all you friggin'.
Dang it! I wanted more than all.
Take my
guys.
Made a pain. I built my kingdom. Now you bow to me. You took my dreams, but not my name. You'll follow me until the end. I am my kingdom.
Yes.
It's a hell of a song. I have it as my alarm. Again, I followed the man's journey. I respect the Rose name tremendously. It's time for this man to fulfill a legacy. He needs to finish the story.
It is. It's time.
All right. I'm sure some of that got cut off too, so I don't wake up.
So, anyways, King, there was something I wanted to also mention about the CM Punk debacle that happened.
And then we'll go into our main event and just talk about WrestleMania, the biggest stories and our biggest matches and our biggest takeaways that we think could happen. Go ahead.
King, you remember this. I told you about it. Everyone's freaked out more over the fact that Punk never watched the Rocky movies.
That was the biggest talk of the IWC that day. It wasn't about the IG post. It was about Punk didn't watch Rocky 3.
Who gives a crap?
Yeah, that for some reason their priorities were just like, he never watched Rocky, dead man.
Oh, I like this theme featuring strange music song Stevie Stone. Oh, I like this theme of Solo.
Yeah, this theme actually works, believe it or not.
Also, speaking of, Cody said he's gonna have a probably record-setting pyro moment.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Cindy, I hope you're nowhere near that arena set because I feel like you could get burned.
Yeah,
Night 2.
I mean, I am going to be high up, so I'm not going to get burned or anything.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of pyro. Well, I hope your ears won't be like
a live video feed if you can of the pyro.
I'll be okay. Thank God.
All right, good deal. Yeah, but bottom line, people, stop being petulant children overreacting to stupid nonsense and stop showing how immature.
Also,
you are
there's been a new detail from the brawl out fight.
What?
Another select report this. Apparently, following the brawl out, and not like 3 days after, no, more like it was like seconds after, Kenny Omega and Punk actually chatted.
Oh, well, there you go.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, Punk and Kenny Omega talked after, the massive fight that just happened. And Punk said, look, man, I don't have issues with you. And Kenny Omega was surprisingly composed, as they said, about it. And I was just like, yeah, I'd be composed too if I got bit in the arm, saw my best friend get clocked by a steel chair and having to be beaten up because I saved the dog. Wait.
All right, I got some good news. So I can able to watch AEW Dynamite at the hotel because they had TBS.
Yay!
All right, we'll see you for the all lead Zoom.
We'll
then.
see you there.
So that being said,
but yeah, that came out, and I was just like, wait, what? You just got through a brawl, and now you're chatting like nothing's ever happened.
And it's like
composed, surprisingly composed.
Yeah. It's like
after getting bit in the arm, seeing your best friend get clocked by a steel chair, and a dog's teeth getting kicked in.
Yeah, I feel like CM Punk might be a little bit more unstable than his straight edgeness first perceived.
No, Kenny Omega was the one composed.
Well, Kenny Omega is a mentality that we'll never understand. Let's just put it out there. That's the reason why Will Ospreay lost.
And we gotta talk about this. Why did GCW sue the Fight Forever name?
Remember,
pay-per-view.
Brett said he's not delaying the game. He just wants to see if they can make money off of the name from Tony Khan.
Here's an idea. Here's a brilliant idea. Hey, Tony, I know we have you on speed dial because you give us John Moxley for every single thing. Can we be certain that we don't get screwed over by this? And if possible, can we lend you Nick Gage for the game and get some payment out of that?
But also, Tony said
was a phone call just too much to ask?
Please leave a message.
But also, Tony said the game is finished.
That's right.
The game is finished. So we're.
But now with this little debacle, we have to wait longer.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
And the game is finished. Oh, come on!
It was supposed to set for a few weeks in April, but now we got to wait even longer.
Well. Again.
Why did GCW do this when they first announced the name?
Again, that'd be too smart.
Why not call Tony Khan and drop some contracts instead of getting a lawyer involved in this?
Because that would be too smart. Simple as that.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, and we all and I wanted to also bring this up. Kenny Omega versus Vikingo.
Yeah, we got to talk about how incredible that was.
Versus
You gotta ask the question. Where was the story? Where was the story? Where was the story?
Lucky asses.
Not everything needs a damn story, but all roads lead to Roma this Friday night when we get one final confrontation of our WrestleMania main event. What the hell are these two going to say that hasn't been said yet? How personal can this get than what it already is? Seriously.
But yeah, Kenny Omega and Vikingo, awesome match. But why did everyone gatekeep over that?
Because people
out of
have
all the matches, out of everything AEW does, that's when we got to gatekeep.
They had to do something to get attention. They had to do something to get attention.
Because they don't want all the positive energy, attention going to AEW because they know.
Also, guys, here's something that annoyed me to no end. Remember when I mentioned Dave Meltzer was corrected by Tony Khan, and Tony Khan's actually paying for their hotels and drives?
Yes.
You know, awesome thing, awesome friendly work environment right there.
Yes.
Gatekeep that. We can't have that. That stinks. That's horrible for business because WWE doesn't do that. That's evil. And I'm like,
Jesus.
That just goes to show you that Tony Khan
on Instagram and on Facebook story of shows I'll be going, by the way.
Very nice. Just like good old Jeff Meacham talked about. Just like good old Jeff Meacham put out his schedule because he also will be there as part of WrestleMania weekend with all the shenanigans being there at the show. It'd be interesting to see you and Jeff meet each other again, Cindy.
Which was weird to see Jeff do the Bella. No, I'm not even going to talk about it.
Let's not talk about that, King, because I turned around for reasons. I don't need to be scarred. All right.
Oh yeah. But yeah, Cindy, did you hear about that gatekeeping that happened out of nowhere over Tony Khan paying for travel and hotels?
Yeah, I saw that.
I was just like, what? At least the Vikingo stuff at least made some sense because not everyone's an internet fan.
Most of my itinerary now.
Right. Well, again, people are idiots. You know, it is what it is. As simple as that. Unfortunately, it is that simple. People are idiots, immature, sensitive idiots that bring down the well-being of the so-called wrestling community and humanity. Simple as that. So let's go ahead and talk about WrestleMania. Cindy, again, this is your first WrestleMania live, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. My first ever WrestleMania.
Well, you picked one hell of a one to get. So what are you most excited for? Like, obviously the main event, but besides that, what is your, like, I guess, hype?
I'm hyped for the tag team title match, though. I'm very hyped for that. I'm also hyping for Rey versus Dominic Mysterio's match.
I still say match versus hair should be a stipulation, but that's just me.
And I hope so too. I'm looking forward to the matches as well too. So I'm actually looking forward to. I can finally see freaking John Cena wrestle live instead of on.
Look, Cindy, you have Megan's anger already, probably.
Yeah, shout out to Amara Jade, aka Megan Chiba. Go check her out, folks, on the Twitter and Instagram. She actually just typed up a match she did recently at Spinebus, I think wrestling it was called. So all the best to you. Cheers. That being said, is this John Cena's last match? I mean, if he loses, right?
There's rumor that they already have a new plan for him for SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And you want to know against who? Because this is gonna piss me off.
I already know. As soon as you said that, let me guess.
Oh no, I might be going there.
Logan Paul.
Yes.
Knew it.
Oh god, the guy is getting sued for crypto scamming twice.
The viral disease himself. But anyway, going back to.
Okay, so it looks like WrestleMania is probably going to be ending. How do you think? Before midnight or right midnight East Coast time.
Considering the main card starts 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you got
and plus we get a 2-hour kickoff show.
Who gives a shit about that? There's no matches on there,
right?
And you have literally, 6 to 7 matches a night. I would hope it would be freaking midnight my time, meaning 8 o'clock. You.
Also,
11 o'clock.
Speaking of the main event of WrestleMania, they're still debating Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte or the Usos.
Still debating over that.
All right.
No, WWE's still in debate about that. Like,
let's just put it out there.
This, the other wants that.
Let me talk to you. I'm just gonna put it out there right now, and I dare somebody to freaking object. The Royal Rumble winner wins the main event spot at WrestleMania. Since the show is 2 nights and we know our obvious main event is going to be the men's match, then you give night 1 main event to the women's with the Royal Rumble. That's Rhea Ripley, a match 3 years in the making for a story of redemption. And the only women's title Rhea Ripley hasn't won to complete the Grand Slam. But I digress.
I do have one question about that, though. I could be just blind and not seen it, but I have not seen anyone come on Twitter and say this was all part of the plan years ago. This was all planned out.
They'll say that
I
once
haven't
the damn
seen
match
it.
is over. And I'm sure there's one idiot that will say
And
that.
I would just be like, so let's see if I get this straight. Rhea Ripley was planned to lose the NXT title, planned to never fight Charlotte. Vince was planned to get fired. Vince was planned to be exposed. And Triple H would somehow get all this, and somehow at the end of all this, Rhea would come out on top. That would be like, that would require a ton of different scenarios that could go horribly wrong in between.
All
that.
I gotta say, even though the story has the build has been, but Rhea needs to beat Charlotte here to redeem WrestleMania 36.
Yep,
I'm just saying.
What else needs to be said besides that? I'm just freaking saying.
Here's the thing, though. There's just another problem with the KO Sami and Uso match.
What?
If that's not the main event, I would ideally say it should open night one, but we know what night one's going to be, so should they open night two?
That's what I was thinking because
I hope they go down that route.
Jeff Meacham literally said, make night 2 about the story. What is the story? The Bloodline, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman, and at the very end of it
there's
all,
a hot take I have for the Bloodline storyline that might piss some tag team enthusiasts off.
Go for it.
You have to permanently disband the Usos after this once Jay breaks off.
Definitely.
King, I see your reaction. What's your thoughts towards that?
We need this story to have a massive impact. We can't just have the generic Roman lose everybody. We need to have splintered, permanent scars for the group.
I get what you're coming from, but I just don't see
Cody
the Usos
could never challenge for the AEW World Title again, then WWE has to take a risk in losing the Uso group.
I don't think that's going to happen. As much as I like your idea, and I don't know how I feel about it, 50-50, I'm not sure WWE's going to take that risk.
I mean, with the fact that tag team wrestling, like I said, for the longest time has been so pigeonholed and irrelevant, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn winning the titles every center of the division to go against the likes of Braun Strowman and Ricochet or the Street Profits. Again, and
Imperium.
Yes, I think everything, and I mean this sincerely, I think practically everything in WWE needs to change the day after WrestleMania. And that's what I'm going to say this right now. Cody Rhodes wins the title.
No, that's to be given.
I just can't see Roman keep it. I don't care about 1,000 short damn days.
That's the only reason they'll probably think about. Here's the thing: heading into WrestleMania, there were 2 reports about the main event match: Roman and Cody. They don't know who to pick. They don't know who to pick.
So again, WWE has booked the greatest story in the history of their business, and they don't know how to finish it.
Pretty much. They're risking the Drew McIntyre approach.
Well, we saw Drew McIntyre, and what he become? Karaoke singer.
Yeah. That's not
okay. You want to know something? You want to know something about that? I found out why Drew McIntyre did that karaoke stuff out of nowhere.
Why? With Tyson Fury at Clash at the Castle? Why?
Apparently, Drew and if I was an native citizen of where they were at, I would have been pissed being insulted that way. Drew genuinely thought that they would start a bloody riot over the fact he lost.
Yeah, that makes sense. The reason why you're in his home turf.
And I was just like, is your confidence in your own people just that down the river? Like, I know people were pissed over the Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins debacle, but that was a legitimate reason to get pissed. You lost 1, 2, 3, not disqualification. This was something we paid for.
But to be fair, Solo Sikoa made his debut that night for a chance that Drew had.
But it was still 1, 2, 3. It wasn't disqualified. Let's cancel
Roman
everything.
Didn't do it all on his own.
Well, he's a heel. That was going to happen.
But people are tired of that, which is why I believe, again, Roman needs to lose the titles. When was the last time Roman Reigns actually won a match legitimately all on his own?
Jey Uso, Hell in a Cell.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cindy,
but you want to know what I'm thinking WWE will be tempted to do?
What?
If WWE had the stones to do this, they probably call up Jacob Fatu and say, "Hey, can you come here and screw Cody Rhodes out?"
They aren't gonna do that. We're freaking.
Don't they already got enough problems with MLW as we speak?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Exactly.
So there you go. So Cindy, you were talking about you're hyped up for the women's match, tag titles. What else as far as this card outside the main event are you excited for?
Oh, I'm excited for the experience altogether.
That's what I want to hear, because at WrestleMania,
there it is.
It is the experience as a fan of this industry. That should be on everybody's bucket list, regardless of where you stand. And WrestleMania 40 very well might be my first. So as we talk about
WrestleMania 32 was my first.
Yeah, again, you did.
WrestleMania 29, and I got to see The Undertaker's last undefeated streak match.
WrestleMania, and I'll be like, even though I have shitty seats, but I was there.
Cindy, there's a reason why people in nosebleeds are still there, and they said I was there at WrestleMania. Period.
And I won't change every minute.
As we look at Raw's last 2 minutes, Bloodline in tow. Here comes the Usos.
Your longest reigning undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions.
Watching their youngest brother, Solo Sikoa, try to fight back here. There's a super kick. Of course, Roman Reigns with the plan. Weakening the opponent. Bid Uranagi hooks the leg too, and Cody gets the shoulder up.
No, kick out. Oh,
the resiliency of what? Whoa!
I knew this was gonna happen. Ooh, new Titantron, nice.
Yeah, it's so much better.
But I'm glad he still got his theme back.
Yeah, I'm so glad he's got his original theme back.
The Monday Night Raw logo, though, you guys notice it? His Titantron.
I'm just saying, a little bit of foreshadowing. I will say this about your idea about bringing up the Usos, Eric. Backlash. It's not WrestleMania Backlash, it's Backlash.
Yes.
How many times has Sami Zayn said that, Jey Uso, you were the one that wanted to backstab Roman Reigns in the back and haven't yet. And I'm the one that did it. What if WrestleMania, he finally pulls that trigger and Jimmy can't believe it got Battle Bros? By the way, Crossroads and Cody Rhodes wins.
Called it.
Cody beat him.
You're not going to have Cody lose before WrestleMania. Simple as that. Anyway, so I could see, I'm just going to put it out there, I could see Jimmy versus Jay at Backlash. If Roman's gonna take time off, allegedly, for a long-term vacation, absolutely over-deserved, and Paul Heyman with the phone up in hand, you knew.
I wonder who he's calling.
Oh, I got a pretty good idea, King. I'm just saying, got a pretty good idea. But again, I think the bloodline ends as it is at WrestleMania. And Cody Rhodes will finish the story. I got Cody Rhodes winning.
I think everyone does.
I mean, at this point, if you don't have Cody Rhodes winning, what else are you thinking? Seriously.
1,000-day reign for Roman. That's what the other option for people.
So a T-shirt and absolutely nobody else on the roster can ever beat Roman Reigns is what you're saying.
Here's the thing. I would be like, if Cody doesn't beat him, you had one last chance. You had the chance for Drew, you missed it.
Yep.
You have the chance for Cody. If you miss this,
yep,
it would have to take like 2 more years just to get someone else.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's gotta be now. It's now or never. Finish the story. Bring it all together. That's all I gotta say about that. And as far as the other stuff goes on this card, again, guys, fun little pre-hype top, but there's your WrestleMania card. If you do want to see it again, you got freaking 4-way men's showcase, 4-way women's showcase, the 4 team now, Chelsea Grant, Sarah Deville, Brock versus Omos, both women's championships on the line. I think both could change hands. Intercontinental Championship triple threat, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, Demon Finn Balor versus Edge inside Hell in the Cell, father versus son, Ray versus Dominic. Bloodline all in action, except for Sol Sikoa, but I guarantee you he will be a valuable part in either of those matches. As the Usos defend against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And of course, we have Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes finishing the story for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. And it all
guys, I got an update on the Hell in a Cell match.
with John Cena versus Austin Theory. But what's your update?
No red crate of hate. We're going back in black.
Thank God.
Serious?
Yes,
Oh, we
PW
are.
Insider reported this.
Oh, we are.
Glorious day. This became the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
Yes.
About damn time.
Thank God.
Oi, that's all I gotta say
also,
about
guess
that.
who might also be at WrestleMania on Edge's corner?
Gangrel.
Yes.
Gangrel.
Might get that real
Or the
blood.
Brood entrance, probably.
Now, will we get a Brood bath at some point? Like, after this? Or, like, the theatrics of this match alone is going to be worth the price of admission. And now you're telling me there's no longer the red crate of hate. Okay, I'm officially excited. There you go.
And also,
Me
it
too.
will also be part of night one, the Hell in a Cell match.
Night one.
Night one, okay. So, Cindy, of course, fantasy booked her own night one, night two, kind of like where things are. Raw didn't give us it. We still don't know where every damn match is taking place. What the hell?
No,
Like,
we'll probably
I
see
want
it on
Asuka to win.
Friday.
All right, I want to see the match placement. I know John Cena versus Austin Theory's match is going to kick off night one.
Correct. We know that. And we know Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes going to finish the whole thing. It has to.
Okay, so pop
got
up
that.
the screen again. I'm going to say this.
Cindy, go
So-
ahead. Cindy, go ahead. Close us out with your match order, and then we'll all bid our fine at you.
I just need the graphic. Can you pop it up, Noah? Thank you so much. I'm
Absolutely.
going to say how many matches we have total to confirm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 matches.
Correct.
Okay, so 13 matches depends on like the time length, of course, to split
And entrances.
and entrances. So it's going to be like 6 to 7 matches.
Correct.
Okay, so I can see for night one we got John Cena versus Austin Theory for United States Championship match. That's going to be the first one.
Yes.
I think night one's going to be 7 matches and night two is going to be 6 matches.
I agree.
Because
night two, they're going to be tired as shit.
it is. Yes. So John Cena versus Austin Theory will be night one.
Okay.
And then I could see, of course, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match.
Men or women?
Women.
All right.
Women's going to have to showcase it. Obviously, it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul.
Right.
Boo.
Agree.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Seth Rollins versus
Curb
Logan
stop
Paul.
him into oblivion.
Yeah.
And do it again. And then do it a third time.
And again.
Exactly. And then we're going to kick things off with, of course, the Hell in a Cell match.
That's the fourth one. All right.
Fourth one. And then, honestly, to say this, I'm going to take a look at it from the standpoint. I honestly feel, let's see, if it's something had to be a cool down match.
After Hell in a Cell, cool down.
After Hell in a Cell,
because
the
of the
cool down
instances
match,
alone.
it's going to have to be the men's tag team, the Fatal 4-Way tag team.
Okay.
Both showcases on the same night. Okay.
Both showcase, maybe. Who knows?
All right. So you have
And then-
5.
Well,
Okay,
you can have Brock Lesnar and
Yeah.
Omos be the cooler match because who really cares?
It's going to be the cooler match for night two.
That's what I mean. I night two is going to be the bigger stories. I feel
Yeah,
like.
except it's already been confirmed. I'm looking on Wikipedia just to be safe as well. Brock
that's
Lesnar
ours.
versus Omos is night one.
I mean, it is
Night one-
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar versus Omos, switch that for the men's, the Fatal 4-Way men's for that.
Roger that.
And then Charlotte versus Rhea, and then the tag team title match between the Usos versus KO and Sammy.
Wait. Time out. You just put Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley as the semi-main event for night one.
This is
Yeah.
no order, but
Actually, Cindy, you also have another thing. It's also been confirmed Damage Control versus Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch for night one.
night one. Okay, so let me see.
Oh, okay.
Let me check Wikipedia
Well-
real quick. Okay,
Yeah,
hold
does
on.
Wikipedia actually have actual real updates about this that I'm unaware of?
Exactly, because I don't even look at Wikipedia for WrestleMania. Let's see
Because
what night
Wikipedia,
one and
yeah,
night two look like.
that's a trusted source.
They have like 5 matches confirmed for night 1, and they have
Okay,
one match for
so-
night 2,
which is Cody versus Roman.
Yes,
of course.
Okay, so here you go. For night 1, John Cena versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory versus John Cena, okay?
Right.
And then
Okay.
Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul, and then Damage Control versus Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch, okay, cool. Brock Lesnar versus Omos, that's 4. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, that's 5. And then I think we're gonna have to add in 2 more matches.
Right.
I would say one of them would be a cool down match.
Clearly.
Yeah, clearly
Yep,
a
gotta
cool
be.
down match.
I probably would go with the men's tag team.
Yeah, the men's tag team, like the Fatal 4-Way, and then to close up, well, possibly if they're going to switch or not, the tag team title match.
See, the thing
Possibly, but I also read they also are considering putting Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio on the first night with the Hell in a Cell match.
Which makes sense because Judgment Day as a whole, you have Final Judgment.
I think that would make sense, having like Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Like Judgment Day would rule night 1 and Bloodline would rule night 2.
Yes, that's perfect.
Ding,
Okay.
ding, ding.
I like that.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, Judgment Day night 1, night 2 would be the whole that's perfect.
Bloodline.
So that way that Charlotte and Rhea could
Closes
be
it out.
it.
That'd be the last Judgment Day match.
Yeah.
Exactly. They would close it out. So you replace
So perfect. Okay, so Austin Theory versus John Cena, first of all, and then I think after that, have the Hell in a Cell match.
Damn, just right into it.
Right into it, though. And then Omos versus Brock Lesnar, of course, and then Damage Control versus Trish, Lita, and Becky.
Right.
And then you'll have
4
Rey
right there.
Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio.
That's 5.
That's 5. And then 6 would have to be Charlotte versus Rhea.
Which means that everything else would probably be night 2, and I'm assuming you would open night 2 with the tag title
Night 2
match.
would be the tag title match. Yes, tag title match would be, and then the women's tag team showcase match.
Oh yes, because neither showcase was booked night 1, according to this.
That's right. And then you could have fucking
Right.
You said it.
Well,
you said it.
Here's the thing.
You
Here's
said
the
it.
thing.
Not me.
You said it.
Okay, here's the idea. How about you have Bianca and Asuka next. Then you do the remaining tag team matches. Then you do McIntyre, Sheamus, and Walter.
Yeah.
Then we do the main event.
Yeah, the curtain jerkers, the Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah, definitely.
The curtain jerkers.
Yeah,
So
that would.
I say that
more
politely.
sense.
So let's go ahead. Let's go
So
ahead.
that means night 1 will be focused on is Judgment Day, and then night 2 is the whole blood. That's perfect.
Yeah, it literally.
I demand money.
Yeah, you got.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead.
Here
let's
you
ahead.
go, the many money.
Well, I mean, hey, again, he wants royalties. He's never going to get it. It just is what it is. So we got Cena versus Austin Theory United States Championship, the Hell in a Cell match between Brood Edge and Demon Finn Balor, Brock versus Omos, Damage Control versus Lita, Trish Stratus, and Becky Lynch, Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio, Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul, and Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Closes out night 1. Night 2, you got the tag team title match, the women's showcase, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship, the men's showcase match, the Intercontinental Championship match, and then the main event. The whole thing closes out with Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boys.
Also,
right.
we need to give
goodness.
commitments to Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Did you all hear about Did you hear what happened at the Royal Rumble?
What?
What?
Okay, think about this. Rhea Ripley was at number 1 and 2 spots, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
She dislocated her knee
Oh,
early in the match.
and she still went through the whole damn thing.
Yeah, she popped it back in and was like, I can keep going.
She did
I
what
have
Finn-
learned from the best, mostly Kenny Omega. I
But
can
also-
keep going.
Also, Finn
Yeah,
Balor
yeah.
popped his shoulder back in place. Hey, look at that Judgment Day. And the only difference was he had to relinquish the title and go into surgery the following night. Rhea Ripley did not have to do that.
Also, you have to also remember this. Why didn't WWE think of a backup plan if Rhea's, knee popped out when she had to lift Nia Jax up?
Oh god.
Oh.
I don't know. I got nothing.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley worked that whole match with her knee pretty much partially popped out, and she had to finish the match with her legs. So that's saying a lot.
Yeah. 7 matches night 1, 6 matches night 2. I think this order is pretty much on point, folks. I'll do that for my form order too. And I'll send you all the form here shortly in the ATW thing. So, bottom line, stories need to finish. We have Final Judgment, and we have the Bloodline Saga. And both of those will culminate at WrestleMania.
And then you got also there's one more thing. I just realized this. If we're going by theory, WrestleMania night 1 will be the night of the Judgment Day, and the Bloodline falls on night 2. So WrestleMania is the night of the villains, and night 2 is the day of heroes.
That's a fair take, considering if all Judgment Day wins night 1, no Bloodline loses night 2. Yeah, that's your only dominant force in WWE as well. It's an interesting way to shape WrestleMania, but I still have speculation of disbelief when it comes to a couple of matches on night 1, like Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Now that we know that Legado del Fantasma will probably be cornering Rey Mysterio, where Dominic only has Damian Priest because Finn Balor going to be in Hell in a Cell. Rhea Ripley's got to focus on Charlotte Flair. Those two cannot get involved in anything else if they're going to have a chance of winning their matches.
True.
So that's just a fair take I have about that. And whether or not the Trish Stratus...
Though Rey Mysterio does have a major disadvantage, though.
What?
He's been saying he's considering retiring at that night.
Oh, so you mean to tell me after WrestleMania...
This might be the last time we see the master of the 619.
Means he just put his mask down in the middle of the ring and just walks away.
Oh, no.
I mean, he is inducted into a Hall of Fame. Just keep in mind.
That is true. But also, Edge was a part of the Hall of Fame. But yeah, he came back. But yeah, this is good. This is different, though.
Yeah, God. I just had a realization. I think I know how Dominic's going to win.
Edge is finishing out the way he wants, but it doesn't mean he's going to be done at WrestleMania.
Yeah, but I just had a realization.
What?
Go ahead, Eric, but y'all get to your list.
Dominic is going to lie, cheat, and steal Ray's mask.
Or burn it. Judgment
Day. That's it, but he'll probably homage to Eddie Guerrero just for the hell of it.
It went
speaking of Edge, I think the Toronto date for August will be the last time we see Edge on SmackDown.
You really think so?
Well, Edge did say that this is going to be his final year, and I think the Toronto date in August for SmackDown kind of gave it away because he wants to retire in his hometown of Toronto. So in August, on that SmackDown, on that Friday, he's done.
And I do think Finn Balor is going to go over because who are you going to invest more for a little bit more longer, Edge or Finn Balor?
Finn Balor, clearly. There's no debate with that, I feel like. So, I mean, yeah. Well, again, and when we talk about Judgment Day, we talk about maybe Trish Stratus turns heel, still up in the air. Still up in the air for speculation. Cindy, well done.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Also, guys, just a heads up, if you guys heard of this guy named Stefan Johnson, he's a very known guy from TikTok. He does voiceover. He does snack review. He's the one that actually campaigned to bring back the Oreo Cakester. That's all on him. He's the one with the voice. He's actually going to be the voiceover for the NXT Stand and Deliver.
Oh, nice. Big game. Okay. Congratulations.
Let me go ahead and play Steph. This is Stefan Johnson. Yeah.
Get a little bit of an insight to his world.
Oh, also NXT is probably bringing back an old name from pay-per-view world.
What?
Battleground.
Oh dear.
Ron Johnson, WWE.
I don't know necessarily if we need that.
I don't know either. I don't know how I feel about that if they could bring that to reality, to be honest.
Especially for NXT.
So this is Stephon Johnson.
All right.
Let's see here.
The light.
The light. Don't stare into the
Sorry,
light.
guys. I botched. I'm having a tech. That's him.
Oh. So what's going to happen to his career if the United States bans TikTok?
Oh.
Yeah, which everybody's not too happy about it, and so
Is there a petition? Is there a petition in place, Brian, that's trying to fight against it?
They are.
Which wouldn't surprise me. Again, I can say what I want about social media. Not all of it's bad. A lot of it is actually encourage and help people. Anyway, congrats to Steph. Nice.
The fun and excitement of Oreos into a soft
Listen to his voice.
cake. These things smell amazing in the richness.
Oh, he's got that hip hop vibe that this NXT is all about. He's got that vibe. He works. He works.
Yep.
And by the way, good.
Definitely.
There. I'm sure Allie.
He has an Instagram page, by the way, just letting you know.
Nice. I'm sure Allie appreciates that because I bet she's a fan of those as well. Also, Allie get well soon, and Chris Statlander get well soon. Stop it! Stop it!
I'm just an alley boy.
Oh wait! I just had Cindy. Listen. If you do see Lex, send a video. Say, "Yay, Allie! Yay!"
Or send him a "Yay, Allie!"
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the butcher will.
You
were so close to getting an episode out without the.
You were so close to get away with it, and then you brought it up. You had to bring it up. This is your own doing.
Meanwhile, the Butcher faces Orange Cassidy ATW International Championship this Wednesday on Dynamite. About time he gets a title opportunity. I personally hope he wins, but I kind of know what's going to happen, so it is what it is. Yeah, and maybe Bianca goes heel when she loses, or do you get finally Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair in a whole different sort because someone has to humble the damn queen? And is Sheamus going to complete the Grand Slam? Is that the only reason they did a triple threat to preserve?
Yeah, he and John Cena are pretty much the only ones that never won the IC title.
It still baffles me that John Cena never won the Intercontinental Championship. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's also still really baffling that out of all the wrestlers they could have thought for Brock Lesnar, they had Omos, even though you had Walter right there.
Oh,
so let's just put it out there. Omos versus Brock Lesnar, over or under 7 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
See 3 amazing shows.
Under 7 minutes.
I get to meet John Moxley and all that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did he?
Yeah.
Over or under 7 minutes, Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
Under.
You heard it here, folks, in ATW.
Yeah, piss break.
Yep, under.
I mean, you could go up the stairs, or I don't know how high you are in the arena, and go grab a concession
I am
stand.
very high, but I'm going to look for some food.
Are you going to be pretty close to a corridor, or an aisleway, or in your dead middle?
In the middle.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Good luck.
Actually, I'm on where I'm going to be at and people and all that. Who knows?
I don't know. I've never been
inside. Here's my response. Good luck. I will non-religiously pray for you.
Cool meeting up with the wrestling club.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, they're going to be yeah.
Plus, you'll be potentially the first person to be part of the ATW meetup group, and before any of us, because Wrestle Dynasty couldn't happen.
Don't freaking remind me of that.
Stop bringing that up, dude.
I am still all of that. I demand Madison Square Garden attendance. That's not WWE.
One day.
We could have all went ahead and had Swarma like from the Avengers.
Dude, man, look.
One day, dude, it'll happen. One day.
I'm tempted to try for Toronto, but I've already set my sights for SummerSlam because it's only 2 hours away from me.
I'm tempted to go to Toronto.
Well, again.
Oh yeah, there's a reason why WWE is going to WWE has SummerSlam in the way they are right now, and how they have it themed after where they are at.
By the way, I love the logo.
In Detroit, Michigan.
About damn time they get rid of the damn star logo.
Logo
I love
so
the
clean.
logo.
So clean.
Yeah, speaking of that, apparently WWE is trying to look more cooler for the buyers who would buy them out.
Oh,
of course,
God.
because
So they were like, okay, we
remember?
got to go to these cities that they love us and are very hot wrestling crowds. We got to get that. We got theme shows around their show.
We're talking about Detroit, Michigan, and the Ford Field, the center place of the Battle of the Billionaires, WrestleMania 23, that had nearly 80,000 plus people.
Yeah, I don't acknowledge that event anymore, mostly because if I do, then I have to remember, oh my God, that guy was president for 4 years.
And then Cena was driving around Detroit and all the way up to Ford Field, driving like a maniac in a Ford Mustang. Yeah,
that and CM Punk was a background guy.
That was WrestleMania 22.
No, that's WrestleMania 22.
Oh, yeah.
In Chicago. He was actually part of the Money in the Bank ladder match opener. Still one of my favorite Money in the Bank ladder matches of all time.
Yep.
Freaking Edge broken in half under Jeff Hardy from that. Golly, that dive.
From that diving leg drop onto the ladder. My God.
Was that leg drop or a senton? Because he got all his body in that.
I think it was a leg drop. I think it was.
Man, fair enough.
I have to go look back and see.
Yeah. Well, bottom line, guys, get your sleep, get your energy drinks. Yes, I have Mountain Dews. I have not messed with one since noon, but I definitely will be chugging them like hell.
Oh, yeah. And driving's going to be pretty interesting. My first road trip, long distance.
Road trip.
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure Los Angeles will be a plenty surprise for you, especially after what the governor did.
And Taya Valkyrie said, be careful of traffic because there'll be a lot of traffic.
I know, that's why we're going to be leaving hella early, though.
What is Taya Valkyrie actually doing? I don't know if she's booked for anything. I don't think she is.
Yes, she is. Some super show she's doing, I think, on Friday.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
I forgot what event she's doing.
I wasn't sure because I know Impact Wrestling just did their Canada thing at Windsor, St. Clair, and by the way, Summerverse will be at Windsor, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm almost tempted for that as well. But again, Price for Passions, only so much money, only so much time. By the way,
and how's the water, by the way?
What?
The water in Ohio. I heard it's contaminating.
Yes. Bruno was a thing again.
How are you surviving?
Well, so far I'm not Flint, Michigan. If that tells you anything, when we
don't worry. There's a storm in Los Angeles that's threatening its water supply too, so we're all screwed.
Well, there you go.
Well,
again, people are just wondering when is California going to be washed away underneath the tides?
Speaking of that, remember, did you hear it snowed? Did you hear it snowed in California?
Jeff and JJ showed me it. Yes.
It's true. It's in the mountains also, and I could see like, oh man, the snow in the mountains, like in my area, which there was no snow. And when I was driving on my way to work, like, holy shit!
Yeah, how's that for a sight for you, Cindy?
Well, I have something that one of my friends told me who lives in California.
California. What?
He heard about the governor and what the governor did in response to these horrendous disasters.
What did Newsom said?
What?
The governor basically did this. Okay, everyone, it's time for action. Well, see you, everyone. I'm going to pull a Ted Cruz and leave you all behind.
That's a politician.
Oh, God.
Cindy, let's be honest. That's accurate.
Yep.
All right, guys. Good stuff. Good hype. Always good to chat with y'all anytime. Next time we will reconvene under normal conditions will, of course, be the All Elite Zoom. 3 hours this week as we look at the premiere of AEW All Access.
All Access.
And then, Cindy, again, I wish you nothing but safe travels and an incredible time. We'll definitely reconvene after we all get our voices back.
Oh, I found out what Taya Valkyrie's doing on that show you were talking about.
Oh, please tell me.
Was it Prestige?
Yes, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, she's fighting Mayu.
That's right. I forgot about that. Miyu Yamashita. Yep. Also, congrats, Impact. You're sold out to Sacrifice, nearly sold out Rebellion right now, and also, of course, the sell out again, Multiverse United. But also prior to that, they have the first ever live Impact special, Homicide, what the hell? Versus Will Ospreay, Kenta versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World Championship, and Miyu Yamashita's in-ring debut on Impact Wrestling TV too.
Yeah.
I'm definitely tuning in for Impact. I'm definitely tuning in for Impact on that one.
Impact's in a better place, like I said. Impact has never been better since Celebrity 2020, in my
Who
opinion.
knows if you guys will see me on TV on Friday for Supercard of Honor?
Potentially, yes.
I expect.
Yeah, we will try to, and we will.
Either way, get us a picture and see what you can.
Like, no, you got on TV interacting with John Moxley.
I still can't believe that friggin' happened. And John Moxley and Aubrey Evans just walking right there across
At least I was on Rampage with my phone.
Yeah, you were on Rampage with your phone. And I took a picture with Kip Sabian.
So, Cindy, you need to get a sign eventually saying ATW represents.
Oh, I'm gonna do that. I need to buy
one day ATW will come together at a wrestling show too. But for now, I think we'll conclude this ATW View. This was a lot of fun. It wasn't really predictions; it was more discussion, and that's all I feel like we all truly needed, and I feel like we all wanted. Got to give the people what they want. But I digress. Good night, guys. Good night to everybody who tuned into this. It's been the ATW View WrestleMania Week hype. There's so much we didn't even discuss, and I know there's so much that you all look forward to too. Until next time, with the controlled chaos will certainly ensue. I bid y'all now a fine adieu, and everybody enjoy what is to come during, before, and after WrestleMania.
The Yay Alley edition.
You stop that!
I'm just.
Well, we had to end on a laughing note.
Of course, you had to end on a laughing note. Well, it wasn't like a bad joke done by James Hebert. Go check out his Watch on Phone. It's good, man. Again, shout out to the entire W fam. Indigo, happy late birthday. Looking forward to all your real takes and everything this week. Shout out to Kid Bennett, Kaiser Man, Preacher Man, Kaiser Flynn. And of course, everybody. And like I said, Mary Jade, all the best. Megan Chiba, the whole family. Casey, JD, you know who you are. Good night, folks. Thank you for tuning in once again to another ATW View. Happy WrestleMania week. We'll see you next time.
Allie.
Stop it.